Fix that ladder situation. Gotta make sure that ladder situation is all fixed and done, yeah? Ugh, fucking hell. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Ugh. Oh, all right. A little bit later. Get all loaded and all that fun shit. Yeah, get this going and rolling. Sukup, you're really adamant about getting those fucking flies, dude. Come on, bro. You goof. Just real quick. Don't really need that one. Just realized that was a popping and a banging. Anyway, let's get this ball going. Man, oh man. This fucking, like, just, this smoke and shit from the fucking fires is just not doing me any favors today. Like, at all. My goodness. Dude, God, what are you? See, you are just really about getting that fly, aren't you? He's literally jumping around and bouncing to try to get that fly. I love it. Silly dog. Let's see. Is there like anything else? It's just so much random shit about the fucking goddamn queen. I'm so sick of it. Oh my god. Here, actually, let's say something. There we go. Gonna do this. Cool. I know, definitely have to be something on too. I guess not. Boo. Not surprised. Hey ho, what's up? Respond to one of my buddies. I sent them a picture of the fucking red orb that was the moon earlier because of how fucking just shit it looks and apocalyptic it looks out there right now. Can't even see the fucking clouds. Like there's clouds like that are over, like, you know, doing their thing, but because of all the smoke, you can't see them. And it's just not doing me favors. Like, I definitely can kind of feel a little bit of a headache. I mean, it weirdly feels better when I take a hit. But then it goes away after, like, 15 minutes. And then I'm just having a headache again. Here, so scary shit. Down here, the worst fear is a hurricane or a tornado. Yeah, despite that, I'd rather still deal with wildfires, frankly. Because my area specifically is not as at risk for wildfires, but pretty much everywhere around me is. So, like, a lot of areas that, I've been to before, like, at the Gorge, at, like, different parts of the falls back in 2020 when that shit got burned. And in 2018, and in 2015. And then, like MacGyver this year. I mean, that shit just fucking really hit me, dude. Like, I mean, because just knowing, like, how many times I've went rafting out there, fucking, hanging out at that place and shit, it's just like knowing that a good chunk of that's just fucking gone now. I mean, it hits you. So it's just like, I mean, I knew this shit was gonna be close again. Luckily I don't think it's gonna be like, around, like, right around my corner necessarily anytime soon, but still. Like, the shit is fucking close, and it is, going to slowly but surely just contribute to more fucking problems. But luckily, I will say this, it isn't as bad as 2020. Like, I mean, there isn't as much of, like, this tension, politically as well, that kind of caused a lot of this, like, false information of, like, Antifa starting wildfires and a bunch of Proud Boy fucks and Nazis literally trying to do armed, like, street patrols and, like, roadblocks and shit, which did straight up intimidate people trying to flee. And there was a few citizens of, like, these different towns that were trying to flee that were exceptionally felt intimidated about it. Got asked to assist in a form of Katrina and tore a lot of roofing off her house. Damn, dude. See, that's why I'd rather deal with fucking wildfires, because we don't get shit like that. Because I honestly would rather just deal with, smoke and shit versus that. I've been pretty lucky when it comes to tornadoes. Every time I've seen one, it's been getting away from me. So that's good. I mean, in a weird way, I actually think it would be kind of cool to see a tornado, but that's just because I've never seen one of those before, you know what I mean? Look, I'd be down for fucking, you know, seeing them and being like a storm chaser in that way, but when it comes to, obviously, you know, like, living in an area where tornadoes are frequent, fuck that. I mean, obviously, I know these, you know, there's like a more modern homes that are being accounted for some of these tornadoes and shit, so they're able to better withstand them. But that doesn't really help you all the time. There's a lot of things, you know, like if it literally goes over your fucking house, like you're fucked either way. But, you know, less damage though is better regardless. I mean, if, like, you know, dealing with a hurricane or a tornado, the worst you get is, like, your roof being ripped off. I mean, that's better for repair versus having the entire house leveled, you know, so. Plus, it's cheaper. If only America's infrastructure was made to ride like that. When I was a Boy Scout kid at second, third time, listed 2011, the major storm that did a shitload of damage down here. Damn. My dad slept through the first tornado when I was a kid. Damn. Ooh. Here's a sunset picture if you want to check it out. Of, tonight. This shit looks... Oh, dude, this is at OMSI. This is where the submarine is. So this is at OMSI, and this is the submarine that you can take a tour in. At least the front of it. So I know exactly where this picture was taken. This is right at OMSI. That shit looks fucking ominous. Everyone's talking about the fucking red moons, the blood moons. The moon is insane. Everyone has pictures of the moon, dude. Oh my god. What's this? Fire investigators have identified one or more suspects in Mount Tabor arsons, but believe the threat is now reduced. Mount Tabor is my favorite park in the city. Maybe anywhere. I'll fight a motherfucker to defend that park. Yeah, no kidding, dude. Oh my god, dude, if there's like arsonists out there like actually fucking taking fires to like some of these fucking parks, so dude, I not only would I fight a motherfucker, I'd put some lead in a motherfucker to defend these parks, dude. Fuck that, dude, that's some bullshit. I'll join any bucket brigade as protecting Mount Tabor from asshole arsonists. Dude, I'll die. Someone literally is like, I'll die on that hill, and I'm sitting here like, yeah, I'm about to fucking die on this hill, dude. Like, I'll unironically die on Mount Tabor to fucking defend that shit. Some arsonist fucking pig wants to do that shit, Some quotes to the article. But the fire investigators told 100 residents of the Tabor neighborhood last night over an emergency Zoom call that they, along with the Portland Police Bureau, made contact with a suspect and say the danger is mitigated, at least for now. He said he believed the behavior should be curbed at the moment. And someone says, so they arrest someone? Did he give this person a stern talking to and they said to stop? I'm confused by the way the message is. Yeah, it's super vague, saying danger is reduced and curbed at the moment does not give much confidence. It really doesn't, dude. Ah, fuck the pigs. Fucking cops do nothing, lazy ass piece of shit. Oh, I will not die to defend Alabama, Lamau. I don't blame you, dude. Like, I will not die to defend Alabama either. Like, I mean, like, there's actual reasons why I could think of dying for Oregon, though. Like, I can actually think of some shit. The natural beauty is for certainly one of them. And, or at least what hasn't been burnt up to a crisp yet. And, yeah. And also, there's a lot of, you know, cool history to it, you know, to Oregon as well. So, I mean, you know, like, I can actually unironically think of things like, yeah, I'll die for the state. I have more affinity for the state than the fucking country, I'll put it that way. Because at least the state, like, somewhat represents people. I died defending California and Oregon because the states actually give half a fuck about the people, but for the USA as a whole, nah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I want to do it for California necessarily, but I mean, yeah, I could feel you on that. Wait, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 actually took account for the fucking smoke in PDX right now? No way. Someone does a video, someone made a video of this. And they're like, Microsoft Flight Sim. Dude, yeah, you can see it. Look at that. Wow. Dude, I'm impressed with this fucking flight simulator, dude. I really need to get this flight sim. Oh, yeah, dude, look at that. Wow. Dude, what an impressive game. Dude, look at that shit. Wow. It does almost look fucking real, dude. Let's skip a little ahead here. Yeah, there's a Columbia River. I think that's Government Island right there. Yeah, that's a Government Island right there off in the distance. Man, look at that shit, dude. Wow. It really did legit take into account of, like, the fucking wildfire smoke. Dude, what an impressive game Flight Sim is. I remember fumbling around with an original Flight Sim as a kid. Dude, I remember playing the 2004 one, and then I got the Flight Simulator X and had that for the longest time. That was just awesome. Oh, here's Trillium Lake. Here's another landmark here in Oregon. And I've been here before, and this place is beautiful. I mean, even with the smoke, I mean, it still looks beautiful. It's one of the few places that hasn't burnt down yet. But there's, you know, the hazy-ass fucking Mount Hood under all this fucking smoke. I mean, good lord, dude. Jeez. The Guyver part is still burning, but evac zones reduced significantly. That's good. Ugh. Fuck wildfires. Fuck the shit. Or I just like realistic flight sims for the same reason, because I'm terrible at realistic flight, and a reason why I know I couldn't be a pilot. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love being a pilot. Especially like combat flight sims, I always have fun with those. Especially for Rise of Flight, because that one's a World War One flight sim, and oh my god, have you heard of it? Here, let me pull it up, because it's actually a fucking fun ass looking flight sim. I've played a shitload of it. Probably like Elite Dangerous. I've seen it. Definitely looks like right up my alley. Here, let's look at let's look at this. Let's look at a cool idea about the game. It's a realistic flight sim of World War One, and it's so cool. Well, I guess the pilot lived through that somehow. Bailed out because it's flying suicidal. Well, there was a time where they had experimental parachutes, and that pilot ejected, so, you know, implying that you had experimental parachute, but they were very lackluster and not exactly efficient. See, that's my main problem about this game, is that when you crash like that, the physics of the actual body of the plane itself don't totally like crumple like it normally would. It just kind of does that. But, you know, for the game itself though, it's fucking amazing. It's SPAD 13. Got all banged up. There's a motherfucker still shit. It's like at this point it'd be unchivalrous. Oh my god, why through the trees? Ooh, threading some needles with that one. Oh, yep, see. Oh, well, yeah, well, you're dead now. They're like World War II planes. I like both, World War I and World War II. This guy skip around a little bit. Ooh, Fokker D7. But also you can kind of see how, like, you know, back in the day, how, like, much liberty pilots took with their own personal aircraft by designing them. Especially if they've been a pilot long enough. Looks like this engine stalled out and died, so he's just kind of gliding it. Whoop. Bounce. 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 And up, 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 up. That tends to happen. Ooh, that's a Sopwith camel. Yeah, I know all these. I'm a nerd. Actually, these planes were notorious for being hard to fly. Like, they were notorious for, like, spinning uncontrollably. So if you, like, you know, pulled up or spin a little too hard, it would, like, stumble out of control. Pilots weren't exactly fond of these planes. They didn't like them that much. You had to be pretty careful with the controls on them. They're really good when flown by a competent and experienced pilot, but if no one knew how to fly these things, I mean, Sopwith Camel was a fucking bitch to fly. Getting burnt to a crisp. Oh shit. But yeah, you kind of get the idea though. It's a pretty fun little flight sim though. I like it. I think that's a dolphin right there. That's literally what it's called. It's called the Sopwith Dolphin. I actually like this one. Honestly, this is a really was a pretty decent aircraft for its time, and all and despite its biplane design, it has like an entire like kind of cutout on the top of the top section of the wings, and that basically made it so it was a little easier for the pilot to kind of like look around a little bit, while at the same time still maintaining a lot of that biplane aerodynamic and shit. Because there's only like 2 planes. There's the Focke-Wulf 8, or the D8, which that one was like this very gigantic, thick ass like singular top wing monoplane, and then there was the Fokker E3, which is like an early war monoplane. And then I think those are the only ones. I know the British media, the Sopwith triplane, which the Germans actually took the design off of, and they made the Fokker DR1. Freaking Zukoff will boof. Well, he's totally knocked out, so I don't think he's going to be boofing anytime soon. Yeah, I definitely love, like, especially a World War I and World War II aircraft. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised there isn't, like, a flight sim base that are, I'm not, you know, like a Vietnam era one. Like, the closest one to be would be War Thunder. You know, to have, like, some Vietnam era or, like, Korean War era flight sim. I guess, DCS, too. But, yeah, that's pretty much about it. Arma's pretty decent combat sim. Oh yeah, it's like an infantry / like armored combat sim. Yeah, I love Arma. Arma's pretty dope. Yeah, I feel a sneeze coming on. No shit. Oh my god. I felt that one coming up. Trying to sneak up on me? No way, Jose. Want me a Pop-Tart. Got me some Pop-Tarts. So I'm getting a Pop-Tart. Let's see. The system we're down from India. Andre Antunes. Let's see what you got. Ooh. Dude, this works. I love it. This does sound like some sod here. I like how the interviewer's even getting into it. He's vibing with it. Dude, this shit fucking rocks, dude. What's also amazing is that they're actually legitimately like good singers. Get back to bulk gliders. I mean, I have one right here for now. My store, for some reason, didn't have any immediately right off the bat, but they had singular ones. Well, that was fucking epic. Well, that was awesome. The armor reforged was a bit of a letdown. It's only ground and vehicle combat, no planes or ships. Man, that kind of sucks. I guess it'd be okay if it was like, you know, an all ground map with no waterways or anything. What is there any more from Andre? I always like checking out shit because it's always fucking amazing. Oh, he did another one. He did another India medal of Tung Tung the Northern Sister. It's the same one, I think. Same chicks. 6 hours driving later. Ugh. Man, he did a bunch of driving. Ooh, I'm loving this. Ooh, I like that little chord change. This honestly does slap. I like it. I'm kind of getting into a lot of this like Indian style like music in a little bit, especially in this metal version of it. Like whoa! I've noticed that like at least with a lot of Indian style music, it really incorporates very well with fucking metal. So well. I feel like a lot of it has to do with like the chords and like a lot of the note progressions that they traditionally use in their folk music. Because a lot of it's in minors, like a lot of that minor shit is so prevalent in metal that it works so well. Complements very well. I like how they got these older people, you know, getting into it. It fits, and honestly, strangely fits. I like that last little part. Like is that version of that weird corporate commentator person being like, bravo, bravo. Like, was that her weird version of it? Honestly, that fucking slaps. If only there was like every now and then like a little bit of a growl to it. But maybe I've just been listening to a lot of Bloodywood, so I mean, and they incorporate like the growls really well with that shit. Harry, I know you sent me like a link earlier of a band. What is this? Project Vela. Oh, I think I, didn't you show me this? Yeah, I think you showed me this. Man, this fucking piece of shit grinder, dude. I need to get another one or something. Where'd that part go? Did it dematerialize? Yeah, where did it? What? Did it disappear on me? Oh, there it is. Did I just really enjoy it? Yeah, you sent me it once. Are we gonna close up? There we go. Man, stupid grinder. Ugh. I'll buy a new grinder. No! They're not that expensive. They're like $10 or something. If that. What you need? I honestly already have one over here anyway. It's like I have one right here. Like, it's not even really that big of a concern. That lasts for like 80 plus. Oh my god. I mean, grinders can get up to be that much, but honestly, at that point, they're just kind of price gouging a little bit. Man, grinders was in a goodie bag I paid for $30 for. That ain't bad. A pipe grinder and some bud. No, that's nice. That's a nice little little bud bag. Here. There. Let's see if there is like actually anything to help. Is there like actually anything? Ugh. Boo. Boo. See the human support today. I think so. I think we checked out at least one of the clips today. Did you have a key? Yeah, I saw that. Pretty sure. Oh, there's this one. A Yikes, the Dennis Prager one. Yeah, no, I just saw that. Yeah, you just linked it, but yeah. Yeah, here, I'll keep that up here for a second. Check that out. First, I think I'm going to want to grind some weed for that or something. Ugh. God, Dennis Prager. What a fucking, like, on a scale of 1 to misogyny, like, pig, like, how much of misogynist is it really gonna be? Probably just misogyny, pig. If I had to take a random guess. My friend just sending me Tool. Some real lulls in that one. 9 out of misogyny pigs. I mean, I would say misogyny pig just kind of full out. Because me saying misogyny pig implies that there's no actual number to it. It's just, he's just a misogynist pig. Like, the dude literally thinks it's basically it's okay for husbands to rape their wives. Like, I mean, he's a straight-up misogynistic fucking scum pig. Like, I mean, it's hard to really identify him as anything else when he looks so resemblant of one, you know? I mean, it's not my fault, you know, he looks legitimately boorish. I mean, we've seen how hogs, you know, can, you know, be like and shit. Like, I mean, and honestly, they could take a fucking, like, you know, shotgun to the face, honestly. Like, don't fuck with hogs. He gives men an excuse to be horrible while holding women to a higher standard. Yeah. Men can have basically no standards, but women have to be upheld to pretty much like every fucking standard in the book. Actually, before we get into this clip, I'm not kidding about the whole hog thing, because I actually remember a Xander Hall clip, he was talking about hogs. Like, hogs. And he showed a clip of this Italian hunter shooting at a fucking European boar. Not even like Texan boars and shit, and those motherfuckers are even more aggressive. Here. That's a 12 gauge, by the way. I can already tell. That's probably like an Ithaca or something.
For work, there is no gore.
Semi-auto, I can already tell.
Let's watch.
Two of those hit in the face. Let's just do a quick little side by side, because this is a wild hog, by the way. This is not really much different than a fucking, domesticated pig, if you think about it. So, that hit it. That definitely hit it point blank. And it grabbed the barrel as the third shot. You can even see the shell right there. Like, it literally rammed the barrel. Like, it got shot twice, and it, like, clunked, hit the barrel, and the third shot missed. Sounds like a savage dog going... Like, it literally went like a dog, almost, dude. That hog literally did not stop. Not at all. See, this, you wanna know why in Texas and the places in the South they don't use shotguns, they use fucking AR-15s and high caliber weapons? Because of that. They use guns like mine. They use my rifle and shit. Like, they go on helicopters and shit, will literally go bam, 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 you know, just like, you know, full auto sometimes, just boom, 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 you know, just drum mags, you know, just dumping these motherfuckers. And honestly, they breed like fucking rabbits, so I got no problem with it. Like, I want to do it sometime. You know, I want to go on like one of these little hog killing ventures. Like, some places, because it's so fucking bad with them, will literally pay people to do it. Like, it's like, hey, you want to go on a helicopter and do it? Let's see someone take down a moose of a 45. Yeah, that's a moose though. Like, I mean, yeah, like, I mean, a moose to the head, you know, a few times. Yeah, it'll go down eventually. Well, any animal will. And including that hog. Like, because the 45 has some fucking stopping power. Like, I mean, you know, fucking a 12 gauge with a buckshot? No. Like, yeah, to an animal like this. To a human, yeah. But, like, to a fucking animal like that? Oh, hell no. Like, a buckshot's meant for, like, a deer, you know, or some shit. Not like a hog. Like, if anything, you want a slug. Like, I mean, if you're gonna use a shotgun against an actual, like, wild boar... Like, I mean, that's why you want, like, the 5.56 or the AK or, you know, some high-caliber weapon and a high-cap mag, you know, to fucking deal with them, because hogs are fucking vicious. And they come in big packs. And they're fucking aggressive as shit around here. Well, not here, you know, in Northwest, but, you know, in a place like in the South and shit. Shotgun's good close range for proper ammo. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, this is in Europe, like with this video, with this hog, like that's a European boar, but that motherfucker was just as aggressive, took 2 shotgun buckshots to the face, rammed that barrel, got the third shot to miss, and still charged at this hunter. The hunter was literally like, beating at it with its barrel, hoping it will eventually run off, and it did, but it's after trying to charge this person, you know, still, it's just like, don't fuck, you know, it's never want to fuck with a hog, man. I mean, legit. They, like, I mean, there's been a lot of people that have said it's like, if it's between, like, wolf, a bear, or, you know, a wild boar, like, I literally would rather deal with bear or wolf. You know, and, you know, like, when it comes to, like, you know, especially dealing with multiple of them, you know, from my, you know, from various different accounts, you know, from online ones, personal, even, you know, people I've talked to. Because, yeah, they're fucking vicious. Because a wolf, well, it's like, no, they're like a slightly bigger dog. Like, I mean, you could pull a wolf down like any other animal, you know, or at least in that way. A bear, well, they usually aren't there to try to attack you anyway in the first place, unless it's desperately hungry or, you know, hibernation season. Good fletchet dart to the brain will probably down a hog. With fletchet? Yeah, maybe. Honestly, like with a hog or a wild boar like this, I'd take a rifle like I have and make sure it's armor piercing or full metal jacket. I have what I assume to be British food tonight. English muffins of chipotle cheese, arugula dipped in epic hot sauce. I mean, it doesn't sound British. Unless you call their culturally appropriated curry British too, but I disregard that. I just kind of want to see this video again, because this video is just fucking crazy, dude.
Let's watch.
Oh my god, I still can't believe that hog took 2 to the face. And that third one missed, and it still attacks. Sometimes 3, you know, for a shotgun and hunting is probably not enough. Must be on drugs. A hog, just like, you know, like a wild boar. Yeah, I mean, yeah, totally. 100%. Yep. Must have been on some of that meth. Some of that wild boar meth you can find out in the woods. I mean, it's just like, that's why, you know, I don't want to live in an area that has wild hogs like that. And I know I have family that do. And honestly, I want to legitimately, you know, go hog hunt with them at some point. Because, I mean, like I said, these motherfuckers could breed like rabbits, and if anything, they're legitimately, you know, kind of a pest, not just to ranchers or farmers or local populace, but also to other wildlife in the environment too, because they can get overpopulated, and that causes a very major disastrous complications to the rest of the ecosystem. Like, I mean, there's legit reasons as to why people will, you know, hunt the shit out of these things in the South. Because they're legitimately, like, in a lot of areas, overpopulated and a big significant problem. And they breed like rabbits, and, you know, because they fuck like crazy, and they, you know, spawn like 8 at a time every time they do. So, not something to be fucked with. Because I mean, I guess, you know, with Xanderhall's clips, you know, someone's mentions like, you know, guns bad and stuff, you know, like blah blah, you know, talk about some of the, you know, kind of the nuances about it. And especially when it comes to, like, hunting, and especially hog hunting, yeah, there's legit reasons why my rifle over there, you know, that I have right now would be far better than my shotgun that I also have. Just straight up, if I'm going hog hunting, I'm bringing my rifle. If I'm hunting anything else, I take the shotgun. Hog took some medics before engaging. It took some psycho. Yeah, it took some psycho to really start charging at you a little extra because you shot at it, so it's pissed off. It took the medics so it didn't feel itself get shot. It took the medics to resist the pain. It took the psycho to really get pissed off when you shot it. It was a fiend, dude. It was a part of the fucking the fiends in Fallout, dude. It was part of the New Vegas fiends. Man, dude, those fiend raiders. Gotta watch out for them, man. I didn't realize they were employing hogs, too. Quite literally. Though that also kind of, you know, is a great analogy, though, for hogs. Because, you know, a lot of them tend to do things like meth. So if you shoot at them, they tend to get pissed off. You know, or if you hurt them, they tend to get pissed off and shit and just get even more aggressive. And they're already pretty aggressive from the get-go. Usually got, you know, some sort of drug on them, or in them. So, yeah, you know, I think there could be some, you know, some analogies, you know, taken away, you know, for that education. Anyway, I would get piss off if you shot me. I'm not a hog. Well, I mean, like, in a sense of, like, you know, you're gonna be on the ground and, like, you know, in pain. Like, you ain't gonna be able to do shit about that necessarily. But if you're all drugged out, you're gonna need a lot more than just one to put you down. You know what I mean? Like, I would hope that you would not be so literal with this. Like, I mean, I don't think I would have to explain it. Like, obviously, no one likes getting shot or shot at. But we're not talking about people. We're talking about hogs. Like we were talking about earlier. Because there's hogs, and then there's hogs. You know, so, like... I'm not talking about human beings here. Like, come on. Don't, like... Quit trying to imply stuff. But, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I definitely would prefer a lot of high capacity and shit like that when it comes to hogs. I mean, just look up fucking any video of, like, hog hunting on YouTube. I mean, they're safe on YouTube. Age restricted, but, like, there's a lot of people that upload, like, yeah, here's, you know, how I deal with my hog problem, and they would have, like, 50 of these motherfuckers, and sometimes, you know, they'll be at night, and they'll have, like, a silencer and some infrared sights and shit like that, and they'll just go, pew, 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 you know, just pick them off like that. Some of them, if they have real significant problems, if they got the money, they'll rent a helicopter and take them out from the sky and shit. I mean, it's people, some of them have literally done fucking tannerite. Like, get a big fucking thing of tannerite, have a bunch of bait around them, and just wait until they got close enough and all bunched up, you know, together enough to where if they shot tannerite, like, most of them would just have, well, be eviscerated for, you know, for a lack of TMI purposes, you know, way of saying it. You know, and then the rest of them, you know, you could just walk up and take the 44 and just plop them or whatever at that point because they're all in shock and injured. So it's just like, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it's just like, I mean, when it comes to hogs, like, they're the one animal I don't necessarily feel as bad about because they are legitimately kind of a fucking problem and they are legitimately really fucking aggressive and don't fuck around. I mean, they could get huge. Like, there's some there's some pictures of, like, some people that have taken out hogs that are fucking, like, ginormous. And those fuckers are fast. And very brutal. And they got those tucks that will, like, impale you and rip you to shreds. So, like, you know, wild hogs are nothing to fuck around with. I mean, at least that's what, you know, that's honestly a part of the reason, you know, as to why I definitely understand, you know, gun culture in a lot of ways, because a gun like mine that I have right there, my AK, my Vishka, that is far more appropriate with dealing with wild hogs. Far more appropriate than my shotgun. Like, using my buckshots, you know, for a hog ain't gonna do shit, besides make it angry like that video I just showed. You know, but that 7.62x39, oh, it's going through your head. Like, it's going through that hog's head, and it ain't going to be running up piss. It's going down. So, and, you know, because it ain't shotgun. It's one clear, you know, high-powered, just FMJ going right through it. Like, ain't no stopping that. No amount of pissed-off hoggery is going to fucking charge at me at that point. Well, no shit, a fucking grizzly bear. Dude, unless I put multiple rounds in that fucker, dude, a grizzly bear ain't gonna do shit, bro. You just call him a fucking yapper?
I'm used to that, he's a barker.
You know, yap dog. Ain't no damn yap dog. Oh my god.
He's a bark dog.
He's a bark dog. But yeah. Dude, I definitely want something way more high powered than 7.62x39. I'd want, like, 308. Used to brag about using a 308 down grizzly bear back when we lived in Alaska. Well, yeah, because that could at least, you know, take it down. Like, I use 308 or a higher caliber. Or, like, 300 Blackout, fucking 30-06. Like, Like anything 308 or higher. Because that's a fucking grizzly. Like, I mean, and if you do have at least 308, you better make it a headshot. Because 308 probably ain't going to go through a lot of that thickness that it has on its belly. And it's good. Let's check out this Dennis Prager thing now.
I haven't read this article, but I mean, let's
God,
take a
Mike,
second and appreciate that title. Women are.
I want a 50 cal for a grizzly. You know, honestly, I don't fucking blame you. But I want to keep the pelt. I want to wear it.
Hurting our country. Yikes. Now, when was this written, you ask?
Wait. Women are disproportionately hurting our country? Literally, no, they're not. Oh my god. No. I could think of a couple women that are. Marjorie, Attack on Titan Green. Hillary Clinton. Like, I mean, you know, there's some, but that's not this. There's not like a disproportionality to this.
For 1983. I don't know. It was written August 30th, 2022.
Brilliant.
Let me read you that title one more time. Women are disproportionately hurting our country. Dennis Prager is one of those people. He just wants to be known for saying really stupid things, but the reason why he doesn't have as much clout as other right-wing commentators, despite the PragerU stuff because of the funding for that, but the reason why as a commentator he's less successful is because he is boring as shit. Nobody wants to listen to Dennis Prager. It's like he's falling asleep. Like, I'm talking about Dennis Prager, and Poopy is bored. He's trying to, dig in his little chair there.
Yeah, what is he doing? I keep looking at him like, what is he doing, dude?
Hear about Dennis Prager. You good, Poopy?
Yeah, what is he doing? Is that really his fucking dog's name, Poopy? His dog's name is Poopy, dude. Oh my god. I don't know whether to think that's cute or just, I feel bad for the dog. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, dude. Where's the stoicism? Where's the stoicism like of Zurkov? That's a true proud stoic name for a dog. This is Poopy. The Poopy.
Stop. He doesn't like Dennis Prager. But let's dive in a little bit. I haven't pre-read this, so if it has any yikes takes, then you've been warned. But let's see what he has to say. I'm sure he's making a very persuasive and cogent argument. When I was in college, I read a book by George Gilder, one of the wisest thinkers of the last half-century, titled Nick...
I absolutely am 100% positively sure that is not the case, and this guy is an absolute cretin. Whoever he was just talking about, I already forgot his name because I don't care.
Which had a deep impact.
George Gilder, I guess.
It was about single men and all the pathologies associated with them. For example, Gilder drove home the point that the biggest factor concerning violent crime was that it is overwhelmingly committed by single men. While there was no danger, I would say no chance, that I would commit a violent crime, though I was at the time single. This fact...
Wait, is he implying that being a single man means that you're just going to be more likely to do crime? Like, wait, what? Oh, you know, it's just like, you know, it's like, hey, do you mind? It's just like, hey, you know, it's like these single men, you know, let me just tell you, they, you know, it's like they like to think that, you know, they'll be out there doing some more crimes and stuff, you know, if they don't have a lady, because they'll all be pent up and have to unleash their sexual urges on other things. I think that's saying more about Dennis Prager than anyone else.
Look, he made me a lifelong advocate of marriage.
Ew.
Okay. What if there's other factors that lead to violent crime, such as socioeconomic conditions, poverty, other things? No, it's just if you're single, you're going to be a criminal. Okay, maybe statistically, that's what this person argues, but aren't you a little bit more intellectually curious where you're maybe it's not that simple? No, it's Dennis Prager, of course he's not. I also came to realize that raising good men is the most important thing society could do. If it doesn't, the male propensity to physical aggression and predatory sexual behavior will wreak havoc. Therefore, raising boys to control their natures is fundamental to society avoiding chaos. So he's starting off trying...
controlling their natures? So, being single leads to violent crime. and it's society's obligation to like raise men morally or some shit, to control their natures. So how about eating? I'm not eating anything. I'm trying to fucking like open this fucking thing, which I finally did because it was being a piece of shit. He's struggling to open shit over here, fucking trying to close grinders and they're fucking flopping around off my ass. Like, oh my god, I'm struggling and suffering and everything.
But really, it's women who are disproportionately ruining the country. Over the course of a lifetime, however, I've come to realize that while society was right about males, it was wrong about females. Whether spoken or unspoken, most people thought that girls just didn't need to be raised to control their natures nearly as much as boys
natures.
did. Okay, we're getting into some really, like, oof territory here, and I don't know where the fuck he's gonna go, but right now, if you just stopped right here, I can't imagine what he's gonna get into. Rape apologia, essay apologia, I have no clue. But, oof. It's true that females are not inclined to violence or predatory sexual behavior as men are, but this hardly means that girls and women don't have to learn to control their natures. Okay, how so? On the contrary, as I have been telling parents for many years now, they need to teach their daughters to control their natures just as much as they teach their sons to do so. Okay, when you say control their natures, what exactly do you mean? Maybe hold...
Control your natures. Like, what does that mean? Like, is it trying to say, like, your emotions? Or, like, your, like, impulse control? I mean, what does that, like, fundamentally mean? Like, it's so vague. Because natures, not nature, just natures, that's how he's saying it, I mean, is, basically, like, I mean, that could pretty much mean all sorts of various different things. Like, it could be a psychological thing, I mean, it could be on emotions. It could be like, like I said earlier, like impulse control. It could be different shit. So, like, I mean, what in the fuck does he even mean by this? I mean, it's like, oh, women need to do better to control their natures in society. It's like, what? Like, not be quote-unquote slutty or some shit? And not, like, lust based on your sexual urges or some shit? Like, I mean... This feels like closer, like, so one message. I mean, because it kind of is, honestly. Oh. It's a little mildly sidetracked. But... yeah, it's just fucking... It does feels like, just close your legs and stop being slutty and promiscuous and stop dressing up so, skanky-like and blah, blah, blah. Like, control your nature or what, like, that's essentially what it's just kind of getting at. I mean, it's like... I'm honestly, saying it's like, what does he mean more is rhetorical, because I kind of fucking do. But it's like, you have to kind of fucking break it down, because, again, it's so vague. I mean, realistically, it's honestly just a dog whistle. I mean, it's a dog whistle within a fucking foghorn, because he's foghorned that women are disproportionately hurt in America, but he's dog whistling various different points as to why that is the case. Which, I guess, is it even really dog whistling at that point?
Here, but that sounds really weird. Have you ever heard a normal human being say, hey, are you teaching your daughter to control their natures? I'd say, what are you talking about? What do you mean control their natures? Like, stop farting too frequently? Like, what does that mean?
Stop farting too frequently?
Specifically, girls have to learn to control their emotions.
Oh. Wait, so... like, because, like, oh, men ought to control their emotions, women should too? I mean, I'd rather it be like, there should be a balance. It's like, yeah, you should have control of your emotions, but that doesn't mean, like, bottle it up and, like, suppress it. If you're feeling like, you want to cry or this or that or whatever, just, suck it up, buttercup, quit being a fucking little pussy. Like, I mean, it's like, no. Like, I mean, there's a, appropriateness in a time, to be emotional and shit. And that doesn't necessarily mean, like, sad or angry or, mourning or whatever the fuck. It could be happy, humorous, or, whatever the fuck. So, it's like, there's nothing wrong with that. But yet there's like some weird, huckabaloo because women tend to be like more emotional than men.
Not guys, though. Not guys. I mean, he supports the president, Donald Trump, who just threw a temper tantrum on Truth Social the other day, where he made like 60-plus posts boosting QAnon, sharing fake Ivanka tweets. That's pretty emotional, is it not? So guys don't have to control their emotions, just girls? Can guys never get overly emotional? I'm trying to figure out, like, what's the point? Why is this, as he claims in the article, hurting the country? Government couldn't function if women were too emotional? Like, I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, you can be emotional, and there could still be good outcomes. For example, like, you can care so much about healthcare that it makes you feel emotional when you think about all of the unnecessary deaths that you fight for that particular policy of single payer. So I feel like emotion isn't inherently bad. It's just, it's part of the human experience. So I feel like he's going to really have to do a lot of argumentation. You need statistics, you need anecdotes, you need macro data, meta-analyses. But do we think that Dennis Prager is going to provide us with that? Of course not.
Yeah, no shit, of course not. I mean, like, especially when it comes to being, like, an emotional being, as humans are, I mean, it honestly does more harm to, especially your own self, to try to control that emotion. Because if you try to, control those emotions, in a way where you essentially aren't, like, emotional and essentially acting like, fucking Vulcan or some shit, then you're just gonna eventually, explode, to a point where you snap, like, and have, some sort of, like, psychological, breakdown, basically, from that type of shit. Because, because fundamentally, especially, being as human, like, it's totally fine to fucking, like, reach out about a thing, or fucking, feel sad about a thing, or feel very happy about something, or whatever the fuck, because that's just being fucking human. It's just the, like, controlling how, emotional you may be, or, like, or control when it might be appropriate to feel, like, some emotions. Like, obviously, I'm not going to be all, like, walking into work all emotionally, like, fuck it, pissed off or some shit. I'm going to, kind of, like, kind of stiffen up a little bit, but, it's not like I'm bottling it up. I'm just, going, kind of, like, letting it be in the background, just deal with it later type of thing. And usually it kind of moves on, at least for me, in my experience with dealing with that type of shit, because it's not, like, suppressing the emotions, it's having a better control of them, is what I think, is really a better way to put it when it comes to, like, emotion control. Is, because usually sometimes, like, if some, because sometimes I'll, be honest with customers, so it's like, how's your day going? It's like, oh, honestly, I ain't gonna lie, started the day not, doing too good and kind of in the mood, but, just coming to work and hoping that, just kind of, goes better throughout the day and stuff and blah, 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 and, and usually it does. So, I mean, that's kind of another thing to it, too, is, like, sometimes when being in an emotional state, you kind of forget that, like, it's not usually as big of a deal, at least when it comes to, being, like, anxious or stressed out or angry or whatever the fuck. It's like, usually things aren't as big of a deal as your brain's making it out to be. So sometimes, kind of controlling it and be like, alright, step back for a minute, kind of, like, stiffen up for a second, take a breather, and, like, do some other shit, usually tends to, be better than just fucking trying to, just fester with it. In my experience, most customers don't want to talk to you, just want to grab shit. Yeah, usually. But around here, people tend to be a little more cordial. So, I mean, there's, some people that'll ask, like, hey, what's up, how you doing? Just kind of the vague, courteous thing of just being like, hey, how you doing, whatever, just kind of small talk shit, so.
Just as the male sexual drive and violent impulses can overwhelm their conscious and their ability to think and act rationally, emotions can do the same thing in girls and women, overwhelm their conscious and their ability to think and act rationally.
What the fuck? Like, I can think of a lot of men who that describes.
Wow. I'll just keep reading. However, it should be obvious that at least 2 generations of parents, especially among the well-educated, did not teach many of their daughters to control their emotions and think rationally.
Oh, like you, Prager. Like you totally major, just bastion, ivory tower, lord of rationality. Yes.
More well-educated don't actually view the opposite sex as inferior or defective inherently because of some dumb stereotype that you believe in till this day. Again, as if men aren't fucking emotional. Like, to be violent...
I mean, no shit. I mean, I consider men to be in a lot of ways more emotional because of, like, how, like, aggressive and impulsive and reactionary, a lot of men can be and shit. I mean, look how, like, very similar, like, hogs there are. Look how fucking Prager is and shit with this stupid shit. I mean, it's like, it's masquerade and it's like intellectual stoicism or whatever the fuck, but, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just emotional little, like, these women, it's just all emotional little fucking bicker bandering, like, little fucking pandering bickering and shit. It's just like, oh my god. Of course, it has to be, like, just hyper misogynistic pig shit, coming from a fucking, well, a literal misogynist pig like Prager.
An emotional, thing to do. I just, like, what a fucking idiot. The result is that women are disproportionately active in doing damage to our society. How do you come to this conclusion?
Oh
Holy
my
shit.
god.
The most obvious example is education. American schools teach less and indoctrinate more than ever before. How so? What, because they're teaching history? Is that indoctrination? Just getting facts? Well, facts don't care about your feelings, dipshit.
It's like, oh, how dare these women be taught history? This is actually I love the police secretly. Why would I... What? No. Actually, just the other night, like, I saw some dude just kind of, like, driving home and shit. And some fucking hog pulled him over for literally nothing. Like, I saw him turn a corner, and then turn, another corner. But before they were about to turn that corner, the hog turned their lights on and shit to pull him over. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? Like, what did this person ever do? And of course, it was nothing. And I think they were let off warrant because, luckily, their house was, like, right around the corner. So, I mean, that's what I'm assuming. They probably got off, with a warning, luckily. But it's just like, the motherfucker was literally just trying to look for an excuse to just get a quota in for the night. And it's just like, really? It's like fucking
private schools
dumbass
are
little
damaging
ACAB
young
motherfucker.
Americans to an extent and in ways no one imagined just a few years ago. Young children are prematurely sexualized. They are, for example, exposed to drag queen story hour. Oh, okay, so that's the problem. In class and in local libraries from the age of...
All these children and these girls and boys being exposed to drag clubs and stuff. Oh my god. I think Ignore actually secretly blows cop furries. Oh my fucking god.
Teacher, a man dressed as a woman reading and dancing for them. Oh no! He'd rather than read the Bible where it talks about God committing genocide and how that's good because he promises to never do it again. Remember?
And also that done by a suit, like a dude who's just in a very tight tuxedo suit. Like, I mean, that's just very boring and bland and like some weird old guy doing it. Like, it can't be like, some fun, festive, like, book about, like, hey, acceptance is cool, family, or some shit like that, done by, some drag queens or some shit. God forbid, children have that experience or something. Like, oh no, what a horrible depravity. This is what happens when women have control of our country. It's like, give me a fucking break, dude.
Wholesome story that's told to children. But, like, you need to, first of all, prove that there's a correlation between indoctrination and children being overly sexualized and women being overly emotional. And once you determine that there's a correlation, you have to prove that there's a causal link. But he's not going to do that. He's just saying, well, like, look, they're workifying our kids and women are too emotional, and that's the reason why. You can draw a direct line between, drag queen story hour and women being too emotional. How? Is it because women, like when they see, drag queens reading to kids, they think, wow, our society has come so far that it makes me so happy, it brings tears to my eyes. This would never be permissible 50 years ago. Like, is that why?
It's too emotional. How dare you celebrate literally anything like that, let alone celebrate period, woman. How dare you?
This is
back to the question.
Such a fallacious
Make me a sandwich.
This is quintessential conjecture that only an imbecile would be able to fabricate. And who is facilitating all of this? In virtually every case, a woman. 92% of kindergarten teachers are women. 75% of all teachers are women, and 85% of librarians are women. Okay, so...
Oh, hey, guess what? Fucking, weirdo, like, misogynist, pig dog, fucking Dennis Prager, queerbo, bullfuck, motherfucker. Like, you literal bullhead piece of shit. Back in, like, your little traditionalist Western, man or whatever the fuck of civilization and shit, especially, like, in early America, schools, which are also predominantly very religious anyway, because they're pretty much like churches, too. Like, they were taught by women. Like they were like the kids were being taught by women then too. You dipshit. Like, women have always predominantly been teachers.
Bringing in some hard data. So because he's established that teachers are indoctrinating children, and since most teachers are women, well, there's the problem. Makes sense, right? Checkmate.
I guess it isn't a problem, though, if it happens to be, like, from religious, bent, like a religious church/school that happens to, have women educators. That's okay, but, if it's anything else, then it's just, queer, woke, grooming, by women that are destroying society or something. Because they can't control emotions.
I instinctively say checkmate atheist because that was a meme for so long, but we've got to change that. Checkmate libs. And they are teaching young people to despise their country. The creator of the poisonous 1619 project is a woman. How dare she? How dare she? To feel guilty about their white privilege, or to think of themselves as victims if they are black. Even worse, they're indoctrinating them in non-binary thinking regarding sex and gender. These ideas are...
How dare! How dare these women! Damn you, womans!
University gender studies and women's studies departments, nearly all of whose professors are female. No stat there, though, so you're going to have to provide us with a citation. Teachers and their unions did great damage to young people during COVID-19.
Oh, wow. So we're going to dog on unions, too, while we're at it?
Their hypochondria and an apparent inability to apply reason to COVID-19 risk that schools be closed for nearly 2 years. Teachers' unions in big cities threatened to go on strike if schools open. Okay, first of all...
Yeah, because of a fucking deadly virus like COVID, you piece of fucking shit. Oh my god.
Supposed hypochondria? More than 1 million Americans died, you piece of shit. More than 1 million Americans
fucking venomous viper, dude.
Due to the global pandemic. And you're just...
How dare these unions go on strike potentially if they, were forced to work in unsafe conditions and having a virus spread around in the classrooms? No! These women in the unions! How dare they? What a fucking feminist viper.
In general, teachers are just radical arms of the Democratic Party and progressive movements. They are overwhelmingly composed of women members and women members.
So we have accurate history. Blasphemous! We must have history that explicitly favors those in wealth and power.
Association is
explicitly,
as there are heads of Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York City teachers unions. So literally, his argument is that like there are women teachers, and women are in charge of a lot of organizations. Therefore, women are indoctrinating children. Thus, women are being trained to be overly emotional. The argument just doesn't make sense. Like, he's not making any sense here. The points that he's making are easily disprovable because there's nothing to like back up the claim that he's making here.
I mean, when it comes to fascism, there's never usually any claims that can't be backed up from it. It's all gobbledygook nonsense.
And healthcare workers are at the vanguard of ruining young people's lives at children's hospitals that push giving young people
Rudy Lumpy, oh my god.
And opposite gender hormones, performing hysterectomies and mastectomies on healthy girls who say they are boys, and chemically or physically castrating healthy boys who say they are girls. Oh, so it's women physicians as well, right? They're the ones doing all the gender-affirming care. First of all, you're just lying. They're castrating healthy boys. Okay, has Dennis Prager
So
ever...
just more fucking trans hatred, bigotry bullshit, because of course, you know, the pseudoscience, you know, like anti-woke science and shit is more prevalent than just science in itself.
Circumcision? Because if we're talking about, like, mutilation of genitals of children who are too young to consent, does he know that more than 60% of young cis boys in this country are circumcised when they're infants? This is an irreversible procedure. Is Dennis Prager going to come out and denounce circumcision? Well,
No, because it's a part of the norms of his religion. And fundamentally, I mean, it's like pure genital mutilation and torture, but yet, oh, it's totally okay, you know, when it's done for religious purposes, but oh no. We have to lie and basically say that's happening when it comes to trans kids, potentially, and these healthy boys being castrated. It's like, no, fuck off. It's like, come back to me when, you know, you solve your fucking genital mutilation problem with, like, cutting the tips of baby dicks off, you fucking psychopathic pedophile freaks, misogynistic pigs.
Because that has nothing to do with
Parasites of our society.
So why, be consistent when you can just demonize trans people and claim that they're castrating young boys? No, actually, you cannot get bottom surgery until you're 18. Period. And he can claim that...
Which, honestly, I think is a good idea anyway. Like, I could probably, you know, maybe if there's science that, you know, backs it up, you know, to potentially, like, a parent consent to maybe do it sooner, like 15, 14, you know, maybe like 15, 16 about, maybe. But that's just if, you know, there's science to back up that, you know, it's safe. I mean, if not, then, you know, yeah, 18's perfectly fine. And at least until then, it should stay like that. I mean, it's like, it's not like that forbids, you know, trans affirming care, but it's just like, you know, certain things, obviously, you know, probably better to wait until more development, you know, for the child and shit. And doing surgery is obviously, I would imagine, one of them.
It's not true. And gender affirming care, puberty blockers, HRT, these are medically necessary. They save lives. So yeah. I'm sorry, we should have the freedom to allow parents to make a decision in concert with their doctor and child about what's best for them.
Exactly.
Women are at the vanguard of perverting the medical profession. So now, like, he's just straight up making things up, right? Because at first he said, oh, well, most teachers statistically are women. But now he's just like, oh, well, women, they're the reason why everything is bad in this country. They're at the vanguard of perverting the medical profession. Last week, an organization called Physicians for Reproductive Health published an open letter to the nation's reporters and news editors demanding that they censor anti-abortion activists. We are asking for a commitment from the community of media outlets reporting on abortion to keep in mind the true danger that you present when interviewing anti-abortion extremists. You are giving the opportunity for dangerous lies to spread. First of all, that doesn't seem like censorship.
I mean, coming from a guy who's literally spreading outright pseudoscience lies and propaganda for his fucking teeth.
Want these news people to fact check forced birthers, which I'd agree with that. As regards the demand that news outlets censor pro-life individuals, forced birther, really, you're not pro-life, you're forced birther. What you support endangers the lives of women and girls. And the open letter was signed by more than 60 medical doctors and other healthcare professionals. Nearly every signatory was a woman. So I wonder if he took the time...
Circumcision is genital torture to babies. Yeah, of any type. Male or female genital mutilation.
To count. If, you know, Dennis Prager walks into a store and he sees that, like, most of the people there are women, does he automatically assume that that's going to be a bad experience?
Yes.
Like, this is deep...
Like, yeah, he literally probably does.
Deeply misogynistic, and what this tells me is that he's got some serious personal issues to work out. You need to not blame women. You need to blame yourself, and maybe you're the one who's being a little bit too emotional if you're this, like, you have this visceral reaction to just the existence of women. If you're that triggered by women existing, you're the one who's overly emotional. You're the one with the problem, not the women, dummy. So, women clergy. So even religious people If you're a religious woman, you're bad too. Sorry.
Wow, dude. Like, so yeah. What of the women that were like educators from like 1846 and shit, when like predominant, of teachers back in the day were women? Like, were they bad too? Like, oh my god. Like, are women meant to literally just be raped by their husbands day in and day out, and to just, be an incubator and just clean the house up, or, the land up and shit, and just, like, do everything that, to help their lazy, fucking misogynistic pig dog slob of a fucking excuse of a man, of a husband? Like, is that just what Dennis Prager, just wants in society? Because, goddamn. Gross.
Win some points with Dennis Prager for being religious. Nope, you're bad too. Women clergy have been at the vanguard of pushing Christianity and Judaism.
I wonder if he's one of those hogs that got a hunting dag on him.
To the left. Can't do that. Can't, adopt any different values to kind of grow at the time so your religion doesn't become relevant. That's bad. Leaving mainstream churches and synagogues increasingly empty. Of course, the increasingly feminized male clergy go along with their female colleagues, so it's not just the...
It's all right if the husband consents for her, Prager you. Yeah, because honestly, that's how it is. Like, the marriage itself is proxy consent, in his mind. The woman consents by proxy just because they're in the marriage.
And who are feminized, because we all know that Dennis Prager
don't matter if she's in the mood.
Folks. When I look at him, I think, goddamn, that's an alpha. How does somebody even be that masculine?
I mean, this guy doesn't look that much different from an actual, like, wild hog I see in the wild and shit, so it's just like, And
women are disproportionately supportive of cancel culture, the greatest threat to free speech in American history. Again, where's the citation for this? Are you citing polls?
I'm pretty sure the greatest threat to free speech are people like Dennis Prager.
He's pulling all of this out of his asshole. It should go without saying, but it's undoubtedly necessary to note that there are many women doing great, even heroic things for our society, and that many men...
Bullshit, you literally do not think that at all, Dennis. Get the fuck out of here.
So how charitable of him to add that qualifier at the end. But for those who associate women with instinctively protecting children, or with being supportive of a traditionally religious life, this era in American history has provided something of a shock. Perhaps that's because mentally you've never left the 1800s. And if you're questioning whether or not this is misogynistic because he criticized men at the beginning, substitute women with any other group of people. Just try it. It's very bad, is it not?
Yeah. A little bit. Taliban USA. Yep, that's exactly pretty much what these fuckers are. But even then, the fucking Taliban are probably a little bit more okay with abortion than these fuckers are. They're probably like, oh yes, it's okay if the husband permits it. I guess I can cancel orders on the bitch. That means all these motherfuckers. Oh, right here, I think. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So sure, is it fucking... Yeah, okay, cool. Me as a Walmart greeter. I mean, no one is on. It's more like it's okay if the husband. Yeah, that's pretty much what I, was saying earlier. Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
I like how the kid turns around being like, "What?" Guess more of the Wasabi Islam, Wahhabi, whatever the fuck it's called from the Taliban. Yeah, Wahhabi or Salafism. Message to a person who says slavery is a good thing. Yep, it is. Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel every time, in a lot of ways. Maybe not all the time, but, majority of the time. Found another little thing I could probably check out, y'all. Supreme Court deals with the blow to climate change fight. Will they ever stop? Oh my god, of course. Ugh, gross. I like one of the comments says, a conservative court overruling legislator running an entire liberal political body impotent? Hey, I've seen this one before. Yeah, I've seen this one before. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, just checking, y'all.
What the Supreme Court did, and then we'll also, on the latest decisions that came out today, let's look at the latest decisions from the Supreme Court today, and then after that we will look at what the Biden administration is doing, or rather not doing, or maybe will do. I noticed all that too, why the SCOTUS pushing all this shit out this quickly. I mean, the Supreme Court always goes on a tear like this. It's just that these are some of the more controversial decisions. And the reason why they are doing some of these more controversial decisions is because, and this is going to probably hurt your feelings to admit this or recognize this, but it's because they can't. What the fuck are you gonna do about it? Huh? Are you gonna riot? Are you gonna revolt? Are you going?
I mean, hey, I wish we were doing those things. I'm not gonna lie, cause it's like, hey, let's go, baby. I'm down for that.
Labor, are you going to arm the working class? Are you going to
hey, slowly. I'm getting there, okay? Hey, I'm getting there.
Do anything about it? Of course not. That's it. There's literally no mechanism to even get the Democrats, which are supposed to be functionally on our side, to do the right thing in this circumstance.
Which, unfortunately, they don't.
Yeah. Today marks the end of what is surely one of the worst terms in SCOTUS history. We're going to talk about all of this once again to do a recap, but let's start with the EPA ruling really quickly, because, man, this is a really great one.
How did the court come down? The court coming down against the Biden administration here, really saying that this is a ruling that will effectively limit the Biden
that sandwich, it's on Bezos.
To regulate.
Yeah, it better be on Bezos, damn it.
In turn, affect climate change. So this was a 6-3 decision written by the Chief Justice John Roberts, and it really hampers the EPA's ability to enact regulations when it comes to power plants. The Supreme Court saying here that the EPA does not have that broad authority that the lower court said it did to regulate the power plant industry and emissions in general. This is actually reversing the lower court. This is sending it back to the lower court, but this will have broad implications for the EPA's powers moving forward. This is impacting the administration when it comes to the EPA, saying that they can't broadly regulate power plants, but then agencies as well, saying that if there are these major questions that have political implications, broad economic implications, that agencies basically won't be given carte blanche.
One-party state under the guise of a two-party state, corporatist status quo circle jerk.
Jerk off, you silly boy.
To regulation.
He keeps hiding himself in there.
Major takedown of the administrative state here.
Playing Hearts of Iron 4 a little bit. I'm listening into this just because, there's not really much to, fundamentally be, constantly looking at. This is a post, so we can, British kittens be like, oh my god, that poor fucking cat, dude. Aw, dude, I will call this kitty Snaggletooth if I ever had this cat. What's up, Snaggle? Little Snaggletooth. Oh, that poor kitty, but what a cute little kitty, though. Sweet little kitty, but a poor kitty indeed.
What is currently happening in the United States of America is a super long, decades-long project, almost a century-long project, in undermining federal power. Now, obviously, some nerds are going to say this is a bourgeois government and federal power was always on the side of capital owners regardless, and to them I say, yes, you're right. Because the federal power, if it worked appropriately, would, in many instances, work in an anti-capitalist manner, would work against the profit margins, would work against the profit-seeking interests of corporations, right?
Confused, Unga Boonga. Forget everything you learned in college. You won't need it here. But I didn't go to college. Well then, you're unqualified for this job. Confused Unga Boonga, dude. Dude, alright, you know what? Hey, am I subscribed? Yeah, I think I'm subscribed to this. Am I? No, I'm not. Well, I am, just so I can see some of these, and I can find that later. Because, quality meme. I'll do say so myself, yes.
lawful way to genuinely just do whatever the fuck they want was to implement the age-old strategy that the conservatives in the South had implemented before, which is relegate all the brutality back to the states, the state legislatures. However, the federal government had some tools in its tool belt against said actions. The EPA being one of them, for example. The EPA and other federal agencies are supposed to undermine corporate power at times when corporations will literally not do the right thing. And they're not...
At least they should. But, of course, it's pretty much literally the exact opposite, where a lot of these corporations, if anything, lobby and buy seats in these agencies and thus gut them and make them a lot of toothless instead of being a little snaggletooth kitty like earlier. Where they at least have some teeth and they're all snaggled up and will tear the shit out of something. But, no.
I think, because they are...
Especially if the Supreme Court, or as at this point should just be known as the Supreme Kangaroo Court.
Lifeless.
It just needs to be abolished at this point.
That only operate in at the behest of their profit margins and their shareholders. So, what the Supreme Court is doing in circumstances is playing its role in undermining federal agencies and undermining federal power, no matter how meaningless it ultimately is. Because the EPA regulation is already fucking way less than what it's supposed to be. The EPA regulation has routinely been eviscerated by prior governments. EPA is also, in many circumstances, and I know that there's some of you in here that actually work in the FDA, work in the EPA, you're brilliant young minds, and you have good hearts, and you have a good attitude, and you truly are probably doing a lot of great things wherever you can. But ultimately, you probably recognize that your bosses are already coming from those very same industries. The DuPont Chemical Teflon debacle is like one of the greatest examples of this. Like, a lot of the chemical agents that they use that are incredibly toxic for consumption weren't regulated by the EPA because they were the ones who fucking decided whether it was toxic or not. They were...
Yeah, pretty much. That's why they, lobby and usually defang and detooth a lot of these fucking agencies so they can get away with shit like this. I mean, hell, back in like the 80s and shit, there was like some oil spills at the refineries back in Montana and shit that my dad and his dad worked at before him and shit, and he was part of the cleanup crew, and they were just told literally put like literal like grass you just like roll out, and shit, and you just get like fresh grass. They were just told to do that. It's like, yeah, put some just fresh grass over that, it'll be fine. And, and he was like, here, let me put, like, a little bit, like, of this pipe down here to see how deep this actually goes, to see how bad this actually is. He stuck it down there, and it was like what he said, it was like a like a long fucking pipe, like 15-something foot pipe. And he just, kept putting it down there, seeing how far it went, and it just kept going and going, and then he went to the end of it, and he pushed it down and went, boop, just dropped in this, like, bloop, fucking, pit, dude. How can you experience that? Still be living to... I don't fucking know. I wondered that every day. Dude, I would have been a hardcore fucking environmentalist, like borderline eco-terrorist at that point, and you seeing that shit, dude. And he kind of called out a little bit. It's like, what the fuck? This is way worse than what you're saying it is. And they're like, nah, no, it's not. Just do what we need you to do. And they're just like, just do what you say. And it's like, kind of hard to do that when you can't, if it was like literally some surface level, like oil spillage and shit, that probably, it still would be, not proper cleanup, but at least, wouldn't be nearly as severe. But considering that type of shit, it's just like, what the fuck? I mean, I don't know how, what the total results of that was. He just kind of told me some of his hands-on experience for that. I don't know what year that was when he was doing that specifically, because if so, I might be able to, do my own digging and probably look it up at some point. Well, he was just in here. I should have asked him. God damn it. Hey, boy. Yeah, why do you keep hiding in there? You don't want to be in here with me, you little sweet boy? Jerk. I mean, also, I remember, I forgot the name of the plant, but I remember there was one near here that was caught, like, leaking toxic waste and, like, chemical waste and shit into Johnson Creek, which isn't that far away from me over here. And basically had, like, a lawsuit going against them because of that type of shit. Because, well, obviously, because they're in the creek, it feeds into the limit, and all that is in residential populated areas. You know, and it's like, you know, you got a lot of, you know, residential people, yeah, you know, it's okay. If something happens to them because of the water or something like that, not a problem. Precision cast parts. Yeah, precision cast parts. Yeah, I forgot, that's another one I forgot all the specific results of, but it's just another example of, like, you know, these corporations essentially, you know, in a lot of ways because they lobby and buy and own a lot of the seats in these agencies, and whether state or nationwide on a Fed level. Used to be decent, but you could probably guess who made a fuck ton on running the company to the ground. Yep. Be like a bunch of people not conceding they lost an election despite undisputed proof. Good thing that never happened, though, right? Yeah. Right?
They're in a collaborative effort with the EPA to figure out what kind of PFAS were actually, you know, were truly toxic. You know what I mean? How are you going to let these fucking companies dictate what chemicals are actually the most damaging? They're, of course, going to stop. They're, of course, going to not reveal the truth. I grew up in Michigan in the town. Dow Chemical were pumping chemicals into the rivers upstream of Saginaw. Yeah.
Major...
Wow. Why does that seem to be a common recurring problem? Companies dumping shit in waterways that cause, you know, people to get sick and have their water to be toxic.
Administrative state just government.
Seems to happen pretty often, huh?
EPA. A quick follow-up for you, and if you need to read more to fully understand it, I completely get that. Did this court overturn...
Is someone doing, like, warehouse work in the background? I'm hearing, like, shit slamming off in the background. Gonna find CEO of BP, enforce freedom oil water. I mean, that's the least of what they deserve.
Do we know?
We're still looking at the opinion here,
Okay.
And you know, it's very specific as to implicating the major questions doctrine, saying that EPA doesn't have this authority, but as to how it plays with Chevron deference, which is giving agencies deference when it's not specifically written into a...
There is no beef with XQC, by the way, so stop trying to fucking make beef happen. Like, I don't care that he uses my TTS, I don't give a shit, or he uses my voice in his TTS, and I don't care that he does what he does.
Statute.
I personally would not have I don't have a disagreement with him on all the other shit. I don't give a fuck if he has the most subs and, like, and has, like, and runs a fuckload of ads or whatever. It's still a lesser ad density than TV. And not only that, the only thing I have an issue with, like I said, is the crypto gambling thing. That's it. The other stuff is just normal. There's just entertainers. They make money. This is how they make money.
Death by 1,000 seagulls. Yeah, yep. I love that idea.
We have to look more into that topic.
I'll let you do that. Just come back.
We gotta look more into an opinion about these type of things, you know, because, you know, like, the fate of the planet totally ain't at stake.
Jeffrey Toobin, we were just talking about the major questions doctrine. This court, this term, has used that doctrine to say no vaccine mandate, OSHA, you can't do that. No CDC, you can't have an eviction moratorium. And no EPA, you cannot regulate this issue in this way that's in your wheelhouse.
That's right. And
that's a huge deal.
It's a huge deal. Streamers cover for each other, just another gang. Dude, you're so fucking stupid if you come here of all fucking broadcasts to say that.
Wait, what the fuck? Someone's like, oh, there's like a streamer gang going on now. It's like they're like, yep, streamers on Twitch are now formulating gangs. Like, oh my god.
Those other streamers. I think the only thing that you're used to is just like
why are people stupid?
Pathetic fucking loser contrarians who make their content exclusively off
Seeds
of
stuck on them, so seagulls are equipped with razor beaks. Well, seagulls will eat just about anything, so put like Oreos, seeds. Like, actually use like the Oreo paste stuff, you know, layer that on them, crumble up like all the cookie parts and seeds, and oh yeah, you'll have a good time with that.
So that's your expectation of like consistency and morality, is when someone like burns bridges or whatever.
No, but this case could be worse for the administrative agencies. I'm just reading it carefully. The Chief Justice Roberts' opinion does not mention the Chevron case.
Jeffrey Toobin cranked his fucking tube, okay, on a Zoom call. Yes. This man right here is famous for being fucking fired for whipping his cock out on a Zoom call during the pandemic and playing with it, okay? Because he did not know that his camera was on. Yeah, he was lubing and tubing. Yeah.
Tuba-lubing.
Yeah, that's what he was doing.
At all. Justice Kagan's dissent mentions it several times. So they do not explicitly overrule the Chevron doctrine.
Narrow.
So it is a sort of a classic Chief Justice Roberts opinion.
Move slowly, incrementally.
Exactly. But it clearly the direction he's going is quite clear, which is towards limiting the power of administrative agencies. But he does not go as far as some conservatives wanted in overruling the Chevron case altogether. But no one should be confused. This decision is a defeat for the Biden administration. It's a defeat for the regulatory agencies. It's a defeat for the cause of limiting climate change. But it is not quite as bad a defeat as it might have been.
How you read it?
Wow, what a weird little, like, kowtowy, hoity-toity way of being like, see, it's not that bad. It's like, fuck off. Yeah, it is. Like, yeah, this is not good.
But it's really notable that the court even took up this case.
Yeah, he's reading fast because he's got one hand. He's got one hand on the book and another on his cock. Okay, that's how he's reading fast.
Right here.
I say, Jeremy, isn't that Reginald D. Stiffworth, a young upstart chap who's been touting the merits of a united European Commonwealth? Why, yes, I dare say that's the fellow. Oh, let's get him. Oh, Reginald! I disagree!
Oh, Reginald, I disagree with you, good sir. Wait, what? What was it? I like a guy who loves using toys in his sex. Me. Rolls Hot Wheels across the titties. Girl. Surprise Pikachu face. Damn, dude. Good meme.
Fast, dude.
Actually, I already have that meme saved somewhere.
Jeffrey Toobin. That doesn't even make sense. How would jerking off make you read faster? I don't give a fuck, you know?
Neither of these, the Trump administration rule nor the Obama administration,
I think that'd make you read slower.
For the EPA was actually even in effect. Let's go to Renee Marsh. This is her beat. She covers this day in and day out. So Renee, talk to people about the actual implications of this, given, as I said, the same day oral argument happened in this case. The UN came out with this climate report and said any further delay in addressing climate change will miss a brief and rapidly closing window of opportunity to secure a livable, sustainable future for all.
And really, you know, as we...
I mean, that's just honestly being very optimistic about that, you know, because in a lot of parts of the planet that won't be the case. I mean, especially at this rate.
What it means for the EPA. I mean, I think just regular folks who are watching at home, how this impacts us, this ruling will impact many people's lives because this is happening in the context of climate change here, now. We have seen the flooding, we have seen the heat waves, we have seen the 22-year mega drought out west, we have seen the longer, more intense wildfire season.
Yeah, like the ones that, you know, have been happening here, bringing it closer to home. Like, I mean, I'm still kind of fucking all torn up about MacGyver, honestly, just because, like, I mean, of how many times I've been there, and, you know, how it's kind of like, I mean, for all intents and purposes, like my little backyard. Like, going rafting there, fucking, you know, little hikes and shit. I mean, it's just like, fuck. I mean, this shit's just gonna get more and more fucking common, and more of a, you know, in severity and shit. I mean, luckily, I mean, this year so far, if it wasn't as severe in comparison to 2020, but, I mean, it just, you know, it goes to show how much of it is going to be continuous and just constant.
Just the beginning as it relates to climate change, and we also know...
I've seen that Pikachu face caption was me opening door because stuffy everyone else on a submarine. Yeah, I've seen that one too.
It is not debatable that high concentrations of greenhouse gases contribute to the warming of the planet. And what this ruling does is it takes away the most effective tool for the EPA to
curb those greenhouse gases, and that is emissions from these power plants. Power plants are the second largest source of these greenhouse gases. And so I said this yesterday, I'm going to say it again. It is curbing the EPA's ability to regulate power plants and the emissions that come from these power plants is like saying you can cut the grass, but we're taking away your lawnmower. So get out your scissors, EPA, because that is the situation.
So they're just like, they're at, basically they're saying this is not a way that you can regulate carbon pollution.
I mean, obviously. I mean, because it's just the fanging and just like taking out the teeth and the claws of the fucking EPA to actually regulate and do something that's actually legitimately worth a fuck. Georgia, well, good thing we don't have to deal with this destructive weather, drought, cracks knuckles. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, here, let me just get all up in there and shit, yeah, let me just kind of solve that for you.
We find other ways of regulating carbon pollution, but we know what the world looked like before the EPA. Filthy. Los Angeles before the EPA. To be fair, like,
I mean, honestly, like, the pictures tend to kind of be only just, like, one example of, like, each element of it. But, I mean, it does kind of show that, like, yeah, I mean, due to the EPA, I mean, there, you know, kind of does show the progress, even though, like, especially the after pictures, I do think are a little bit, you know, flowered up, you know, just because there's also like Photoshop and shit like that that's kind of put into work, while these older pictures don't have that.
Hey, it's not like things are popping right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, this one at least a little bit more accurate. Like this, I mean, it's definitely nowhere near as smoggy, but you, like way off in the distance, you can kind of see like ever so slight of a haze, but it's mostly just because it's an overcast. But also, like, it's fucking cleaner. I mean, you know, this honestly is probably the most realistic before and after, like, because some of these other ones are a little, you know, tiny minor doctored. This one looks like it's like a street Google view pic or something.
Okay, so for the...
Okay, this is a little extreme, but yeah, I think, you know, this is due to, like, I think some of the major fires that happened within Cleveland due to some of the factory fires and shit. I forgot when.
This is a good take. They're saying Congress has to write laws and you can't just delegate powers to agencies, right? It's nice that the Supreme Court said the EPA can only regulate carbon pollution in this way if Congress legislates it. First and foremost, that's not how the fucking federal agencies are supposed to work. But according to the U.S. Supreme Court, that is how the federal agencies are supposed to work. They can only fucking have power granted to them by Congress. Well, that is basically the only way to fucking destroy the power of federal agencies. Because as we all fucking know, Congress is not going to do shit. The entire Republican project hinges on sidestepping Congress, as I have said once again. The entire Republican project is about sidestepping Congress and congressional power and relegating all the authority back to states that can enact whatever fucking horrifying policy they want to with a carte blanche approach, with the full knowledge that the Republican-packed courts and the Supreme Court can just solidify states' rights to do whatever the fuck they want. This is the goal. The goal is to sidestep the legislative branch and relegate everything back to the states. They are also...
Which is honestly one of the fundamental reasons is why states' rights is honestly just an obsolete and broken idea at this point. It's just like, I could kind of see that maybe for like certain things, you know, like maybe states' rights on expanded federal rights and federal laws and stuff. Like, oh, I mean, it's like, yeah, you can have the states' rights to expand on what are already laws. So if you want to like expand like civil rights laws and, you know, that aren't necessarily in place federally, then you could do so on a state level. Or like, you know, when it comes to regulations, like, hey, if you want to still extra regulations on top of what's already there federally, you could do that. But you can't, like, try to do none of the sidesteppy bullshit, you know, and whatever the fuck. Like, I mean, there needs to be a severe, heavy restriction and, like, a reevaluation of what states' rights are at this point. Because it's it's kind of fucking ridiculous. Like, with this idea of just like, oh yeah, states can basically just be their own little mini countries, do whatever the fuck you want. It's like, what? Yeah, federal government. It's just kind of there for placebo, just kind of there for the fuck of it. So like, it's kind of there to kind of unify all these little, basically little mini little fiefdoms into doing stuff. Yeah. It's like, I mean, it's like, what's the point at that rate?
The way federal courts and the powers that the federal courts have in individual states against state legislatures. They're doing that. That's probably something that's going to come up in the next term. There's a North Carolina decision. Which, by the way, yeah, Nixon side the EPA creation shows you how bad it was. Like the Clean Air Act.
Fuck go. Well, I mean, it's just like, it's like, I mean, I guess, balkanizing would be one thing, but also having a federal government with teeth and actually reinstilling the Reconstruction Act and doing that for a second time and actually finishing the fucking job would also be a pretty good idea, too. Or both. Both works. They can do whatever they want, except when they can't, then suddenly we care about regulations. And yeah, exactly.
Is being used as like this...
Like regulating bodily autonomy or shit like that. I think if we're going to keep all the tax revenue instead of it going to shows like Arkansas.
Incredibly intrusive thing. It's like, yeah, it's supposed to be, man. It's supposed to be. Congress already granted them power. SCOTUS is reversing legislation. No, they're saying that the interpretation of the Clean Air Act is a false one. That's what the main purpose of this is. They're basically stating that the Clean Air Act does not give the Environmental Protection Agency broad authority to regulate greenhouse gas emissions from power plants that contribute to global warming. They're saying you just need to find another way to do it now. You need to pass new legislation to do it now. The decision said environmental advocates and dissenting liberal justice was a major step in the wrong direction, a gut punch, one prominent meteorologist said, at a time of increasing environmental damage attributable to climate change amid dire warnings about the future. The court's ruling could complicate the administration's plans to combat climate change. Its detailed proposal to regulate power plant emissions is expected by the end of the year. Though the decision was specific to the EPA, it was in line with the conservative majority's skepticism of the power of regulatory agencies, and it sent a message on possible future effects beyond climate change and air pollution. The decision put an exclamation point on a court term in which a conservative majority, bolstered by 3 appointees for former President Donald Trump, also overturned the nearly 50-year-old nationwide right to abortion, expanded gun rights, and issued major religious rights rulings, all over liberal dissent. They also said that the EPA can't set hard limits on things like CO2, which would stop new coal, and instead can only enforce efficiency standards. The only good decision that came out of today, the latest string of Supreme Court decisions, was that they admitted that they could reverse the Trump policy on the first... I always get the fucking legislation name wrong.
I suppose that is good.
The one Remain in Mexico policy. They can actually, the federal government can reverse the prior administration's Remain in Mexico policy. Here. But to recap the last 48 hours, Biden won't yet support gutting the filibuster to codify Roe, is skeptical about using federal land in red states for abortion services, has ruled out court reform, and is reportedly set to nominate anti-abortion GOP lawyer for a federal judgeship. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because I need you to understand that, like, Joe Brandon is not doing enough. He is not meeting what is necessary. But before we get to Biden's inaction, first safe harbor, exactly, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, when it comes to, like, certain things, like, Biden's been doing somewhat okay, but when it comes to things like climate and, actually having, like, strong regulatory agencies and shit, it's like, nope. Like, he's still, a piece of shit and, still fundamentally a fucking problem. I mean, so it's that it's like don't let necessarily all the celebratory nature about like giving the Democrats right now any favors, because it's just fundamentally like kind of allowing them to become complacent with shit like this. Because if they're able to just be like, oh well, yeah, it's like we don't necessarily need like hardcore strong regulatory powers and stuff. We don't need like this whole filibuster thing. I don't know, it's like come on. It's like what's the whole idea about trying to keep up the pressure? You know what I mean?
To the they said that the Brandon admin could actually can actually reverse that. Which will they? I don't know. We'll see. EPA just also changed PFAS limits to basically zero. This case could basically say nah to the EPA and make them keep PFAS limits as is until Congress passes the PFAS very specific limit act or whatever. This Supreme Court case basically says all regulations have to go through Congress, aka lobbyists, every time we write bills making dollars just to do things that EPA scientists used to decide. Yeah. Now, the filibuster reform thing he has gone back on. But it doesn't matter because Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin immediately said they would not, if I'm not mistaken, they said that they would not be in favor of changing the filibuster, which of course is perhaps a really solid approach if you would like to, I don't know, find a stress point, and if you're, let's say, angry, and you want to direct that righteous anger towards people that are standing in the way of progress. This is why I always tell you, go after Democrats instead. Yell at Democrats. Yell at the National Democratic Party leadership for not whipping their caucuses effectively, and yell at the individuals that stand in the way of progress. Let's finish the EPA limitations, though.
Has had this posture that they will find ways to continue.
A lot of people were like, if Hillary were president, abortion would still be legal. Why didn't Bill protect it? Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like if she was definitely very gung-ho about it, I mean, it's like, how come her husband wasn't so gung-ho about it?
House gases, but I have to say, this is, it makes it just very difficult for them to do this job of curbing these gases in such a dramatic way that scientists have been sounding the alarm that we need to do, and not like over the next 25 years, like right now. And so this makes it more difficult. And Poppy, the one other thing that I want to mention is just the idea of giving this authority to Congress. I mean, we have seen what that looks like, and we have seen what that means. Just look at the Biden administration's climate legislation. It has been stalled within Congress. So this idea of giving Congress the authority, to me, is the equivalent of not doing anything, because you certainly have seen that there's not enough political will there to get that sort of drastic and dramatic regulation over the line. That is such a good point, Renee Marsh. Stand by for us. Thank you very much. We're just pulling up the next opinion coming down from the court. But before we get to our Jessica Schneider with that ruling on Biden versus Texas, the immigration question, Jeffrey Dubin, I think Renee just raised such an important point. Okay?
And then Bill, that would be the last guy to want any baby mama drama. Definitely not. I mean, he wouldn't want any of that at all. It's just kind of like another element of their fucking hypocrisy, but of course, it's the Clinton family. And just the family of the establishment and the elites and shit. I mean, they're all gonna be like that.
Because Congress isn't acting on these big issues, major questions, the court's word is the final word. I mean, Congress does have the ability to codify an abortion right, for example. Congress does have the ability to explicitly...
No, it doesn't. There is no ability. Congress will never be able to get anything passed. Shut the...
Yeah, I mean, for real. It's like, give me a break, you fucking like, head in the clouds, corporate little news commentator schmuck fuck. Like, give me a break.
Stop lying. You are a news broadcaster. Your job is to educate the public. What the fuck is wrong with you? This decision is exclusively about... This decision hinges on Congress's inability to pass legislation. That's the whole fucking point.
So why do we decide as a species it would be a good idea to have a bunch of mummies to like ship our future errors? I don't know, man. I didn't have a choice in this. You want to change my mind?
Stay with it. I don't like it when people fucking refuse to recognize that. You're basically lying at that point.
We say the EPA can regulate on issues of climate change. It just hasn't acted.
That's the point. I mean, that's a feature, not a bug. The reason conservatives and the Federalist Society want to limit want to push these doctrines is because they know that Congress is not going to be
Thank God! Whip it out, Tubin! Whip it out, dude! Whip it out and put it on the fucking table, Jeffrey!
Oh, yeah, hold on, fuck.
And the Federalist Society want to...
on time travel, whatever paradoxes or whatever the fuck occurs, go for it. Take that chance. Hey, if I get an opportunity, I'm taking it.
Want to push these doctrines is because they know that Congress is not going to be
Thank God!
Yeah, honestly, at least this guy gets it. Yeah, they know they ain't gonna do shit because they won't. Of course not.
Whip it out, dude. Whip it out and put it on the fucking table, Jeffrey. Thank God.
these laws.
Someone who has a
So,
brain.
When the court says it's up to Congress to address climate change,
They know.
what they are really saying is we don't want climate change addressed because we know that Congress is not going to address it. So, I mean, that's what's really going on here. And that's the real significance of these opinions
In this moment.
in this moment, and especially when it comes to the climate, because you know the climate is an international crisis, and when the court says the only agency,
With regards to Jeffrey Toobin, you do not have to hand it to him. He will take it out himself. Oh, he for sure will.
that has the expertise and ability to address climate change can't do it, it means that it will not be done.
So we're going to talk about the one good thing that came out of the Supreme Court, but before we do that, like I said, let's take a look. So originally
Yeah, just took off your peanut butt. What do you want? But yeah, it's at least he actually like said something that was actually some sense that was right. Like it's like the Congress and the Senate, like the House of Reps, and you can do shit. Like when it comes to this type of stuff, they're just gonna basically just kind of keep going on like business as usual with this type of shit, which is kind of fundamentally the goddamn problem of it all. Like if there was like a Congress and that was actually worth a shit that would fucking do things, then maybe there actually would be like a chance to like have it reversible. Nope. Come up here. Evidently, you just want some loves and snuggles. Yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do. And you're so soft because you got a bath. Yes, you did. Oh, you sweet little thing. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yes, yes, yes. No. But be careful. This might be unwilling to cause of shit. It's time travel trope. Just smother the guy who invented Judeo religions and Ronald Reagan, and we're good. I mean, hey, when it comes to time travel, I'm down for it. I mean, hey, if I have to be stuck in the timeline that I'm in, that's really fun. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah, you're just a little baby lapdog, aren't you? Look at you. Oh, you silly thing. Oh, my goodness. Oh, you well, excuse me. Oh, my God, you big old butt. Hey. Excuse me. Little butt. What are you doing? Sneaking into my fucking treats and shit. Oh, my goodness. You sweet baby. Oh. Oh, it's so little. Aw, little Yanni boy. You sweet baby. You and your little ball. Oh. You and your little shapey ball. Whoa. Oh my God. You fucking just. Oh. Seriously. This necessary at the moment? I guess it is, isn't it? Do you mind that? Do you mind? Eh. You were just having fun, aren't you? Yeah, everyone's being in this little ball, aren't she? Oh. You silly boy. You silly boy. Oh. Look at you. Yes, look at you. Oh my goodness, this is just a sweet boy. Yes, this right here is just a sweet boy. I love this is causing his foot to go off. Is that getting your foot all just going all crazy? My goodness, look at this, brother. You're just a bite. Look at you. Oh, you sweet son. Yes. Oh, look at you. Look at you, you're good. Well, okay, alright. Yeah, enough. God, you fucking... You're a Fruit Loop, man. Jeez Louise. Look at you. You're fruit, you know that? You're just a goddamn Fruit Loop. Ugh. What? Light. Flame. Embrace the flame. Yes. Watch like you go for all that and then all that changes. The moon is purple. Dear God, what does it mean? Oh, I think it's just purple. Oh, that's it? Yep. Everything else is the same. Oh, wow. Damn, dude. It's like, if that's pretty much like it, it's like go for a time travel, like, multiverse dimensional thing, and then it's just basically everything's the same, but the moon's just like, the materials of the moon are just like different, so it just looks purple. Bruh. That'd be fucked. Like, yeah, everything, you know, it's like I get a rundown of history, and it's like, wait a minute, it's pretty much all the same shit. Everything's the same. Big change moon in color one. I mean, a little bit, I guess. Because I apply, you know, like it would be different colors, you know, depending on certain things, like blood moons or like blue moons or, you know, lunar eclipses even, you know, it's just shit like that. So there would be different color implications. Also, I would imagine there would probably be, you know, like I said, different shit on the moon because of that. So, yeah. I'll probably do it. You have to deal with giant spiders if you fishing. Well, oh my god. Well, I'll be prepared. I feel like I'll change the timeline significantly, though. You're being a goof. You're a silly goof. You're just being a silly goofball. Look at you. Why are you being a goof? Why are you so silly like that, huh? Why are you staring at me like that? Why do you have to give me the stare down? Because I'm sitting here wondering what the fuck. Why? Now you're pawing at me. What are you doing? You're so... Oh my god. You're fucking silly, dude. Look at you. You're so silly. Can I help you? What a silly fucking little fruit. What a little Fruit Loop. Like, what am I supposed to do with him? Geese and emus. Oh, dude. No one would stand a chance. Like, we'd be fucked. Australians would go down first. Like, they'd be out. Like, they might as well just surrender before, you know, like, you know. before it even starts. Like, it'd basically be like the German Blitzkrieg in France, you know, and just be like, oh shit. Yeah, it's like set up your forces, you know, for the night, you know, next morning you're like, oh fuck, they're already behind us, so shit. Definitely wouldn't want to fuck that shit. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Baby. What's up, boo-boo? Those little ears, dude. They're like little wings. Terrifying honking. Dude, no amount of fucking ammo is gonna be able to stop that. I feel like America would be like the last bastion against the emus and the fucking geese. But in Canada, just because they have the most knowledge and most experience of Canadian geese. But yeah, most of the world will be fucked at that point. Especially if they somehow were able to like get their genetics like broken down and like, you know, fucking splice it together to make like a emu or a fucking emu geese. The emu geese, dude. Matt, we done. Just done. We'd be able to merge and become a super being. Blah blah. You just want all the treats. Let's see if there's anything else on too, but Walsh explains America's immoral prison system. It's like anyone can tell you that, if they're at least, you know, got a brain when it comes to that shit. Because I mean, for fuck's sake, I mean, it's like half of American prison system is basically just legalized slavery. And the other half is just legalized sexual abuse. And psychological torture. And physical torture. And probably other shit too. And then like a hodgepodge of pretty much is like a combination of both. Like, I'm pretty sure there's, like, at most, like, 3 prisons in America that probably are rehabilitative, and that's being optimistic. Realistically, it's probably just 1. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's in, like, Vermont or something. So, yeah, it's like the Vermont State Prison. It's, like, one of the few places where it's actually nice. It's like, oh, wow. Honestly, I bet it is like Vermont or something. It's like some New England state that has like one of the better prison systems in this country, I bet. Actually, what would it be ranked as? Like, you know, from like the best prison systems in terms of like, you know, like human rights treatment and like prison, you know, prisoner like ethical treatment and shit like that. And actually like being somewhat rehabilitative. Like, I wonder which states have like, you know, like ranked from like the most to the least, you know, what it would be. I'd imagine that like the New England states would probably be more on the top of the list. Like Maine, Vermont, maybe Connecticut and shit. And maybe like the middle ground states would probably be like California, Oregon, fucking like North Dakota or some shit. It's like, you know, somewhere in the middle. Then you got like the bottom of the rung, like Arizona, fucking Texas, Alabama and shit. So it's like, I mean, I'm sure that, you know, obviously it's leveled, but I'm just kind of curious what like the actual ranking would be with that. Good old chiropractor's at it again. What's this? Does it want to load? Oh, here we go. Caitlin Jensen, paralyzed in June by her chiropractor, can now move both her sides of her body. Ugh, oh my god, look at all these therapy dogs. She has like 4 of them. Aww. And so someone even said it in here. It's like, paralyzed by a chiropractor. I wish that was the first time I heard this sentence. I mean, unfortunately, yeah, dude, for real. Look at all these puppies. Look at all these fluffos. We got 1, 2, 3. I'm pretty sure there's like a 4th one somewhere in the, you know, like right there in the bitty bitty bottom corner that unfortunately is not on the bed. It's like, aww. Dude, Zukov would make a great dog for something like that. I mean, he would, honestly, because he's just such a sweet boy. He's such a lovey-dovey boy. Especially when you give him treats. He loves treats. I still can't get the fuck over the fact that some yokel son of a bitch the other day was like, he's not a service dog, dude. It's like, oh my god. Told that to my coworker earlier, and he was just like, dude, you should have said something. I was like, man, I kind of fucking wanted to. The more I think about it, the more I wish I did. But I'm sure, you know, because I bring him in there so fucking often, yeah, it's gonna happen again at some point, so. What are you doing over there? Doing something. So I'm trying to get at a fly again. Just buzzing around him. Oh, yep. I think it was. So fucking cute trying to watch him go after flies around here, dude. Every now and then there'll be house flies in here, and then he just goes nuts over it. It's hilarious. It's like, I'm gonna get those flies, you son of a bitch. I'm getting them. Ain't gonna get them flies, boy. You gonna get them? You're not doing a lot of getting. What a silly little boy. Can you also believe that there are people that do not like Yuzukov? Can you believe that? Can you believe people that there are people out there that are offended at the sight of your presence? Oh man, any customer that does that shit again to me, oh my god, they're gonna have a fucking fun, hilarious awakening when they realize the reaction the PICs will have when they see them. Because they always love, you know, petting them and giving them loves and stuff. Because I want it to happen because I know what the reaction will be on the fuck customer's face, and they're gonna just be red, fuming like, god damn it. And it will be tremendous and amazing because I could just sit there and just be like, fuck you. Look at you, you're a sweet boy. Everyone will defend you. If someone goes after you, the whole world will defend you. Oh, you sweet little fluff ball. Your neck just looks so fluffed and ploofed. Now that you've had a little bath. You're just a sweet little happy thing. He's definitely so much more happier. Kind of woke up like really early this morning in between sleeping with him like kind of sleeping on the foot of my bed. And he didn't even give a fuck. I just like picked him up and just like just dragged him up to where I was and just like hugged him. Went back to sleep and did not give a fuck. Well, at some point he did. When I woke up he wasn't there anymore, but he was enjoying himself. You know, just all like, he kind of woke up like, oh, that's happening. And just passed right back out. Just a happy little boy. Just a sweet little thing he is. My goodness. Just my goodness. Anyway. Okay, I see what a little thing's on too, y'all. If not really too much else, I'll probably let's call it good for the game, man. But well, we'll still see, you know. Cat malfunctions. There's a meme. A mem. I see a kitty mem.
Killed it. Wait a minute. Where did the light just go? What is it? Is this outside? On the inside? How is outside inside? What?
Insurance. I already have 9 lives. Sharon, help. Now. They won't sign my catnip prescription, damn it. Is that cat food? Nice. Very nice. Sweet.
Whoa.
Do me a favor and go get some water and just leave it by the cat food. And I'm gonna hit the bat. I'll see you tomorrow.
That's not a cat.
Oh. No, don't forget the water. Alright, good night. Good night.
That's not a cat.
Hey, bro, you gotta be eating your protein 20 to 30 minutes.
Whoa.
Get the pump, and then you get the front double bicep. Look at that. Veins thicker than the guy's kangaroo jack, baby.
An extra Tate fucking kangaroo, dude. Look at this.
Wait,
fucking
look.
swole.
Check out these pecs. Boom. 420, 15 times. No joke. You want to see the outback? Might as well just check out my back. Bro, is that a protein bar, bro?
Let me say, fuck, Kyle. God. Close enough.
What the fuck? What the hell? Oh, those are. That was a little amusing. A little amusing. Especially that little kitten malfunction. Just like, wait, this is outside on the inside? What? Wait, what the fuck? Cat has some damn revelation there. Bobo, look at little. Not going else, Bubba. There's like evidently something you want from me. You want something from me. What the hell? Boo. Fuck Jefferson. Fuck Jefferson. Fuck the old Jeff. I worked at Whole Foods and made a personal mission to fuck Jeff Bezos over in any way possible. Actively avoided customers at all times to decrease sales, and when I did have to interact, I gave out free samples to everyone. Blow the fuck up on people's sandwiches. Taco bar food. You know, free extras, undercharged for every food item I could. Based. Why can't I do this? Rarely ever paid for my own food. Based. And if I ever need some, like toothpaste or soap, I always stole it. Based. Quit without giving any notes whatsoever. When I started talking to higher ups about promoting me, I also convinced 6 other people to quit their jobs. That's what I'm most proud of. And before I say it, yes, my boss deserved to. Late shift for the store began during the pandemic when Jeff Bezos created the world's biggest wage inequality of all time. And one of my coworkers passed away because she had a heart issue, so couldn't breathe while wearing a mask. Couldn't get any time off, had to go for surgery and couldn't make it through. My boss showed up at wearing fishing attire. When he refused to rehire anyone to replace her position for weeks, leaving me to work the entire department by myself, which pushed me to have a mental breakdown at work one work day. Fuck Jay Bezos, and fuck you, Ricky. Also, I guess my coworker didn't die from wearing a mask. She died from a failed heart surgery. She had 2 previous heart placements. The mask just made things harder for her. The focus is on toxic war culture that doesn't prioritize it. That's my boss used to be able to go fishing and to pay less people. Hey! I know my actions have no real effect on Bezos, but I got my piece. Yeah, I hope they did. Because fuck Jeff Bezos. Nice little story, too. But yeah, honestly, I do. Frankly, I'm not even gonna lie, I do like a lot of the same shit that that person was saying. Because, yeah, honestly, especially considering how overpriced a lot of shit is at the store, it's like, yeah, I usually just give them, like, the original prices of, like, they were, like, 2 years ago. Or, like, a year ago. Which is, honestly, in my mind, still kind of steep, but at least better. So instead of, like, practically, like, $3 for a fucking chicken breast, like, you know, $2.79 or whatever the fuck it is, I'll do, like, $2.29. You know, which is better, usually. Or just $1.99, which is what it used to be when I first started working there. So, like, depending on, like, how late it is or how big or small the chicken breast is, too. Like, if it's, like, a nice big fat one and, you know, or something like that, I'll, you know, do $2.29. But if it's, like, you know, tiny, like, kind of, ugh, you know, like, if anything, I might even charge it less than $1.99. Because, you know, usually for the most part, I like to hook people up. I don't do it all the time for people, but usually I do. And yeah, especially for my own stuff, I don't get paid enough to fucking, you know, give the respect back, you know, to the fucking company for that shit. So yeah, they can go fuck themselves. I mean, just to be honest, see price tag on this? It's like, oh no, they lose like $2 in the profit for the whole fucking company. Oh god. It's like they lose that anyway from just people, period. Like, you know, it's like, it's just, it'd be petty as fuck, you know, over stupid shit like that. But if they really want to make a big deal out of it, I don't know, pay me better. Actually make my wages, you know, aligned with everyone else's, for fuck's sake. Then I definitely won't have nowhere near as strong of a need to do that. Dude just started there to servers working in circles around the boober dude's been there for like a decade. Sounds like that person's worthy of, you know, getting bumped up a little bit. And the boober dude needs to get bumped the fuck out. Ugh, this fucking smoke, dude. Sick of wildfires. Ugh. He is. 2 new people are actually good. Nice. That's some good shit. Ugh. Even though I know the air toxicity isn't as bad as like 2020, it's still fucking me up. Boom dude is a weird dude and it's still awful as ever. Not surprised. Is there any like weird new things that he's been talking about and shit? Oh, speaking of which, it actually reminded me, homeboy Logan called up, and he was talking about that like Rings of Power movie or whatever the fuck. Dude, oh my god, like pretty much like the main thing he was complaining about is like it's too PC, it's all PC, blah blah blah. It's like they made some people like black. It's like, dude, fuck. Like, I was on the phone because I was literally rolling my fucking eyes. Like, dude, oh my god. Like, I don't even know much about the lore of Lord of the Rings, but frankly, when it comes to portrayal, whether they're black or not, the iota of fucks that have, like, the lack of an iota of fuck to give is just, like, ridiculous. Like, fuck that. Dude, it's just like, I don't even like, you know, it's like, whether the show's good or not, I don't really give a fuck. You know, I literally don't. I mean, maybe the show on its own is okay, maybe it's not, I literally just don't care. It's just like, my thing, it's like, woke, oh, got woke. Comments were literally removed en masse because Timmy fuck lots of being racist. Yeah, like, I mean, because literally there's a bunch of people being racist, like, why is there black people being in blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, like, what? I don't know why he's getting, like, partially caught up in it. Like, his idea, perspective is like, oh, you know, the queen who's black, you know, instead now is, like, they made her, like, more paranoid and, like, you know, and, like, irrational, so trying to portray black people as, like, you know, non-diplomatic and not, like, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's, like, trying to basically, you know, say, like, they're doing it for bad reasons and shit, you know, like, in the sense of not portraying black folk, you know, on a decent picture or whatever the fuck. If you're responding with racism just because you're a racist show, not because of the show. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Like, because honestly, like, yeah, the show's bad, called out. Like, honestly, for plot and for the, you know, like, keeping, you know, faithful to the lore of, you know, the whole, like, Middle Earth, you know, universe and shit. Like, yeah, like, and frankly, you know, it's, you know, there probably is bullshit, and there's probably stuff that isn't accurate to, you know, a lot of the lore, which, you know, especially as someone that's somewhat, you know, familiar with Lord of the Rings, I'd probably have some issues with it, but, I mean, like, I'm not, like, that heavily, you know, knowledgeable or really that into Lord of the Rings that much. I mean, I like it as a property. Definitely don't really got big issues over it. But, I mean, still, like, honestly, as far as I'm concerned, the show's good, and honestly, if the plot in itself, outside of, like, lore, you know, inaccurate shit, then whatever. Like, that's how I see about it. Look at this because he likes us Peterson and bullshit, slash other bullshit people. Yeah. Luckily, Peterson not as much, but not gonna see both sides get pound each other's asses. Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. I mean, honestly, it's more or less like my issue again. It's just like oh, you know, entertainment's all woke. Like, I mean, that's just my fucking shit with it. It's like, oh, this shit's woke or blah 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 blah. It's like, shit. Oh my god. Like, it pretty much just, like, you know, like, anything that's, quote, woke or PC is just, like, lost its meaning and shit, because so much of it is just, you know, oh, because black people or, like, minorities are in a fucking movie or in a video game at this point. Like, I mean, so much of it is basically just that. Because racist pieces of shit want to just an excuse, you know, to be racist, but they can't, so they have to be woke. Oh, this woke bullshit. You know, so it's just, oh my god, it's just so annoying. It's like it's like, because, I mean, there's a good, I mean, because honestly, like, a good example of, you know, this quote, like, PC shit that's just shit, it was, like, the female Ghostbusters movie. Like, it was basically just nothing was done to try to actually, outside of just Ghostbusters are women's now, you know, that actually try to make it a good movie and a good plot and, you know, have a faithful adaptation to the whole Ghostbusters, you know, show, or not really a show, but, you know, the movie and its, you know, and it, like, and its franchise, basically, and basically just did it as a cash grab and just gutted everything about it, basically, and just said, hey, we made it different, there's women's. It's like, it's, you know, in my mind, I'm just like, oh, fucking lord. It's like, yeah, I mean, like, that shit fundamentally undermines, you know, legitimate, like, woke, you know, like, entertainment, you know, and shit. Because, frankly, there's, like, I guarantee you, like, Logan also loves, like, movies like this that are, like, woke as fuck by today's standards, like, of Ellen, Ripley, with, Alien Aliens, like, a very strong woman, feminist archetype character, you know, for example, you know, it's just, like, or, like, They Live, I don't know if he's into it, but, I mean, you know, like, that movie, for example, like, there's a lot of different movies that actually are woke by today's norms by a lot of these right-wing chuckle fucks that, you know, even they like, but because it wasn't, you know, in the era of wokeness, you know, it's just like it's grandfathered in, basically. Oh, my dick's too so small, I can't stand by people being in base of sight. I know, it's so fucking ridiculous. It's not like Jeff Bezos ain't a racist little fuckwad either, but, I mean, he does a lot that's just for fucking profit pandering. are playing straight into the game of the billionaires, where the class is more divided than ever, while Bezos and Musk and their fake feud going dancing in the bank. And it just keep inflaming quote-unquote culture war nonsense that is a part of that divide amongst the working class that, you know, just undermines, you know, a lot of the different progression, you know, including the legitimate, like, you know, progression when it comes to, like, woke social justice and shit. You know, because it just, you know, because, again, it just inflames all that shit. Including a lot of the stuff about, like, you know, Republicans, you know, doing a lot of their fucking policies and shit, trying to go after groomers and the don't say gay legislation, and this whole voting against, or trying to push against abortion and voting against contraception overwhelmingly, and so on and so forth. So it's just like, I mean, a lot of this is just continuous inflammation, you know, to keep, you know, working folks, you know, divided over ridiculous shit. Because, remember that one PIC Night Manager that I told you about that has, like, an unironic trump card? Like, unironically? Like, I mean, the dude, you know, like, he's definitely not, like, a Proud Boy chud whatsoever. If anything, he's more or less just kind of apolitical to an extent. Like, but he, you know, naively and ignorantly very strongly has, like, his view about, like, yeah, Trump is good because, you know, economic stuff and blah 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 blah, and, you know, just shit like that. As far as I'm aware, he doesn't really have any, like, social policies that strike me as, like, what the fuck. Especially musically, actually, it's quite the opposite. He has a really diverse, you know, like, view of music and shit, because he's, like, shown me metal, he's shown me, like, Euro EDM beats. Like, he's shown me some different stuff, and every time I'm just like, oh, okay. So I will say, he actually legit has a good taste in music and shit. But, I mean, honestly, he's kind of an example, though, of, like, a dude who, for more or less, is actually not a bad dude, but, you know, it's just kind of been bought into, in some extent, you know, of this same, you know, cultural war divide bullshit. Especially that's very hyper-inflammatory amongst the right wing, because they love to push their propaganda fucking endlessly on places like in Twitter, Facebook, and so on and so forth. Do you mind, bro? Do you mind, good sir? I mean, same thing with my other coworker who's right now on medical leave. Like, I mean, he's definitely more of an apolitical type of guy. You know, definitely has a little bit more of a conservative bent. But it's just another one of those dudes, at least on social things, you know, like when it comes to, like, you know, LGBT rights or queer rights and things like that. It's still a little, you know, not exactly, you know, progressed, you know, with his thought on those type of things. At least when it comes to economics and politically, I think especially, you know, the last couple of years, he's definitely kind of shifted his views about things like that. A little bits by bit. I mean, while he still obviously has his opinions and shit, but, you know, nonetheless. I mean, you know, but it's just another example of that. Because, like, I mean, a lot of these people that might be somewhat conservative, you know, on some level or another, you know, at least when it comes to, like, a workplace or just kind of, like, being in a community, like, not always, but usually, I mean, they tend to just be, like, just an average person that usually just looks up random bullshit on their Facebook and usually is some Republican garbage. And they just, you know, just kind of casually reading it thinking, oh, okay. You know, because that's how they get their news. Which, you know, for a lot of people, that's pretty much about as far as it goes. And it's kind of a wonder why there are a lot of people that kind of have somewhat of a conservative view, because so much of it, especially for Facebook, gets pumped, you know, through social media. Like, in a lot of ways, like, especially when it comes to, like, you know, more, not necessarily just a full-on left perspective, but even at least somewhat of a more progressive liberal perspective, you kind of have to, like, dig somewhat outside of, like, the mainstream media things like MSNBC, but even then, like, liberal progressive is being, like, generous for them. What are you doing? Goof. Let's see. Yeah, since I'm on the Reddit here, I might as well see what's on here. What is on Reddit? What the fuck? People are now getting inside of their ears removed in a new body modification trend. The procedure is called the conch removal. Oh my god, my ears. I don't even want to show it. It looks fucked up. Oh my god. Oh shit, y'all. Kyle and Crystal are... Oh shit. Oh shit. We're engaged, y'all. I'm one lucky dude. Bruh. Bruh. Oh shit. Oh shit, dude. Oh shit. Oh, it is happening. Oh shit, y'all. Kyle's officially gonna be a soccer mom. Yeah, dude. Do you know what? Hold on. I want to see some of the comments on this, actually. Let's see. Come on. Let me... what the... Let me see. Come on. I didn't even know they were openly together. I guess they are now. Oh shit, I can't believe my... Kyle has legs? They're Photoshopped. Yeah, they're Photoshopped. Come on now. Official soccer mom. Yeah, yeah, it became official, man. He bought prosthetic legs with the blood cells and money he gets. I'm never gonna feel like this is some sort of elaborate prank. Dude would have worn Hawaiian shirt and pit vipers if it were on him. Probably. So they gotta keep the ball last name Kyle Ball. Kyle Ball. Kyle Soccer Ball. Oh my god, Kyle Soccer Ball, dude. Have it just be Ball Kalinsky. Just, you know, have like that two-name surname thing going on. So it'll be like Kyle Soccer Ball Kalinsky. Boom. Dude, boom. Perfect. Oh my god. Yes. Has a tribal tattoo? He does. So wait. Nah, it would have been some Tiger Woods-esque polo shirt and old man slacks. He blends the styles sometimes. Yeah, that's true. I never understood why he wears a suit and blazer over graphic tee, because that's actually kind of cool. So at least, you know, something that's okay and somewhat fashionable. Hell, I've done that before. The man has travel tattoos. Sunday, Kyle. Polo shirt would be pink and some sunglasses. Wedding sponsored by Bill Seltzer. Do you take this woman to be off your way of life? Who, me, bro? Who, me, bro? Please don't vape in you. Oh my god. He's going to for show. Yeah, I did. You totally will. This is the first episode they were together, dude. They totally were. Started hardcore vaping also. Yeah, dude. He's always been vaping, hasn't he? What are you doing? What are you doing, doggo? What the hell? What the chip? I mean, a goof. What? This is just a bag. It's a bag. Oh my god, wow, yes, bag. Oh my goodness, amazing, yeah. Oh, yes, great. Eddie K, I saw it on camera with one of the soccer mom vlogs of minivan with Crystal. Yeah. I mean, he's done it a few times. I still remember how he was being gaslighted about, when I said this about 1.5 years ago. Ain't no way a girl laughing at your jokes that way without being into you, especially the caliber of the jokes he has. Based, son! Crystal, lol. Here, this Sunni rich guy voice is her kryptonite. Nah, Ted Cruz impersonation. Oh my god, what if that's what he uses in bed? What if that is the kryptonite for Crystal and she's just like, gets swooned over with the Ted Cruz impersonation? And that's how she just... Oh my god. I'm Ted Cruz. That That's how he does it. That's oh my god. I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop imagining this. Holy shit. Oh my god, dude, what the fuck? Has base sunglasses and ripped a fat vape. Dude, I love it when he does that. When just cloud just emerges. It's kind of like when my roommate does that shit a little bit. Let's get back from his fucking ventures already. His ventures with his wives. Is this real? Edit, yes it is. Crystal Ball is announcing it too. Damn. Even Crystal Ball also has, you know, something saying it too. Damn, son. You're good on them. That's some good shit. Whoa, there's a broadcast of a fucking just flight? Whoa. How'd they get a It's just straight up a camera right here. But yeah, I guess it's a flight from France to England, I guess. French countryside over there. Nice that they don't got wildfires. This is over Oregon, it'll look different. And it'd be dark. Huh. It's kind of kill. Kyle's soccer ball and Crystal Kyle's ball. Damn. Oh, here's a map of some of the live map of some of the wildfire stuff, like the evac zones and shit. They actually got smaller, from my understand. We just got this. Wow! Oh my god! You going to town over there? Damn, bro. Well, let's see. Let's see how the MacGyver area looks. Oh yeah, it's smaller now. It's way smaller. The entire park is in red still, but it's basically just a park now. I guess this is how it is concurrently. Like where that yellow was is where the red was, and a lot of that green all the way up until like fucking Redland was all in yellow. So this is way smaller now, so they do have it contained from what it looks like for the most part, which is good. Looks like the significant amount of the fires in this area right here, which is right next to all that like disc golf and shit, dude. So I wonder if things over here look okay. I mean, I'm assuming over here might be safe for now, but I got no clue. I'm assuming, you know, it's all fucked. Man, what the fuck? Took a little backyard, man. Motherfuckers. Did they ever say what the source of it was? Because I heard of suspectedly potential you know, campers and shit. Now, I also heard at Mount Tabor there was like suspected arsonists there too. From the Port subreddit. I'm just like, you fucking kidding me? It's like I'd fucking fight, you know, to defend that fucking shit. It's like I defend these fucking parks and these hills. Keep fucking psycho arsonists at bay with that shit. Yeah, ain't gonna have none of that nonsense. I know Hag Lake has had a fire going on. What's that about? How's that going on? It doesn't even have any information. Wasn't even updated since it was discovered. Well, that's not good. It's not even a very populated area, so no one's really out in that area, so that can get fucking bad quick. Because it's near Forest Grove and fucking Dilly. There's a place called Dilly. Oh my god, I feel bad for anyone over there. Yeah, I live in Dilly. Sagers. That's an interesting name. Patton. Guest. Wapato. Let's check out these different little towns around this area. I never even knew some of these places over around. There's a place called Cherry Grove. Of course, it's like 4 roads for like their downtown, which I imagine is not even really a downtown at all. They probably have like one little grocery mart and that's it. And a gas station connected to it, and that's probably literally it. Kind of looks like a nice little area out there, you know, I imagine, if it wasn't all burnt to shit. Oh wait, there's fucking fires out in McMinnville too? What the fuck? What's all these little red dots? Hotspot detected? Oh, I guess like a little heat spot or something. Okay, so it's something different, okay. Okie dokie. It's about to be like fucking McMinnville too? What the fuck? Is even a couple by Salem? Vitaly Springs Road. Yeah, there's a Vitaly Springs Road incident type wildfire. What the fuck? Oh Jesus, that Cedar Creek fire shit is fucking massive in comparison to everything else. Oh my god, dude. Dude, the people in Eugene must be just getting smoked the fuck out. Dude, Dutch Shoes National Forest is just fucked. Especially on the west side. Ugh. Dude, Highway 58 ain't gonna be, like, passable by any means for a while. Like, that fire's, like, right on the edge of that shit. Ugh. Man, fuck these wildfires. Boo. Boo. Hey, little boo-boo. Getting all tuckered out now? Looking like a little tuckered out little boy there. Ugh. Think we'll get this last bowl smoked up and call good for the rest of the lovely evening. Anyway, peace out. And of course, I'll be back around for the next